Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome to Facebook. Welcome to YouTube. This is Collide. Today we having an open mic night to express things that happened this year for Marvel and DC and also the comic books. We're also here to be able to talk about different takes and different ideas that we want to, talk about. Unit, you're here? Sky, you here?
Yo,
Nas, you here?
Yes, sir.
Definitely, definitely. Let's talk about it. What y'all want to talk about? This is open mic night. We're here to, talk about.
how about the basics of superhero history 101?
Let's get it. Are
Well,
we?
today class, does anybody know who the first superhero was? What year?
I was thinking like what would happen since like Venom was out recently. What would happen if a Venom symbiote attached to different superheroes? Like how will they react?
Mm, the first superhero, I would, I would say, on TV or in the books. With
Just
the
in general.
symbiotes, we ain't gonna talk about that until Craven.
You're still holding on to hope for Craven?
Yes, I'm still holding hope for Craven. Uh, Kala, um, let's see, Sky. Are you talking about film or are you talking about
Just in
comic
general.
books? Well,
Just in general.
for me, the first thing that happened was first it was Hulk, then no no. Well, Hulk, then Blade, and after Blade, then I start seeing Superman. Uh, then Batman came across. Those are the sequences that superheroes came to play in the film. Comic book
Yeah.
and TV shows. The first thing I ever seen that is a superhero for me was Static Shock. Uh, yeah, Static Shock for me. The first iteration of superheroes that I've seen.
The first superhero was actually called the Phantom, and he it
Oh
was it
yeah,
came out from 1936. He was on a comic book strip on a newspaper.
he was on
So
Nickelodeon.
that's where comics was he on Nickelodeon?
Yeah, Phantom.
Oh shit!
He
Oh
had the white
really?
slick hair. He had the white slick hair, and he always had to grab Ghost, right? That's what he was uh set out to do as a phantom, right? He always had to catch the phantom and put them in stuff, right? That was the origin of his story.
Yeah,
Like,
my boy told me that's right. Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, well, a little history lesson on comic books. I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, or they call him also known as the Ghost Who Walks. That shit's
yeah,
wild.
that
That
is
shit's
true.
wild. But that's like that. I mean, a little history lesson on superheroes. I mean, if nobody didn't know, first superhero was the Phantom. but my first superheroes is like I said, Batman. I remember Iron Man, the series, the animated series. I love that one.
My first superhero was
Fucking
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, Captain Planet, Captain Planet. Yeah,
That was the first one
I
I
think they
caught
have
on.
comic books for that too.
That was the first person I caught on
Captain
to
Planet,
from my grandmother's, push off before she passed away.
Captain Planet. Yeah,
Captain Planet was my first superhero.
that's
I
crazy.
didn't get the villains, none of that.
He's not
Yo,
even like
give us our
like a
first.
comic book. Like he's not even a comic book character. If I'm not like, I know they got comic books of Captain America. Anybody know that they have comic books of Captain America? I mean, of Captain Planet.
I could double check.
That's a fire one because he technically is a superhero.
He was like,
He technically is a superhero.
he was Superman before Superman. Well, no, Superman probably was here.
And this nigga weakness was fucking
Superman
pollution.
probably
Nigga weakness was pollution. But yeah, Batman, Iron Man. I like the Iron Man, the animated series. That was a good one. Even like the title, even the title song was just fire. Like the Hulk, the animated series, that was a good one because it showed some of the Iron Man characters.
Oh yeah,
like the first,
oh
those are
yeah,
my first ones at least.
oh yeah. Captain Planet for me was on Channel 13 or some shit like that. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Channel, it was yeah, it was channel. It was actually Channel 9,
CBS or something.
Channel 9,
Yeah,
Channel 5. It used to come
I
on,
remember
and Channel
him.
11.
Yeah, I
Channel
remember
11.
him. He started in the 90s. I remember him.
Yep, yep. Yeah, that's a good one because
I knew him
definitely
before I
was.
knew Superman. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, you knew who Captain Planet was. Yeah, the
Hmm.
Superman wasn't even really like wasn't really like popular. Like it wasn't like popular yet. Like to us at least. Like all the older heads knew who Superman was, but like '90s babies, we had just seen who Superman was through the animated shit. I mean,
Uh,
so that's a good one.
so when did he Christopher Reed then? Because I seen Christopher Reed in the same era.
Oh, you talking about the first Superman movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that was like what 96.
yeah. I was about maybe 6 years
I
old.
don't know
Six,
when.
seven. I was
I
like
don't know
six,
when.
7 years old. I was
Oh,
like 6, 7. I was like
89,
6, 7
baby.
years old.
When you was born, 88, 89.
89.
He was born in just
Yeah,
89.
me too. January, top of the month, baby. The end of the month, but top of the year. You heard?
Word. I was like 6 months after that. 6 months after when
That's
89
fire, bro.
came through.
Okay, so
89,
Superman the
baby.
animated series came out the same year. So that's when I seen Superman. Like when I really knew who Superman was. That's when I knew who
Yeah,
Superman was at least. I
that
mean,
makes
so that came around the same the movie too.
yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
That's fire. I thought it was before. I thought it was before the movie or after the movie. But it came around the same time.
Yeah, they got black and white ones too.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do got a black and white
That's
Superman movie.
Christopher Reeves. That was
No,
before
but
our time. Oh shit!
I thought the other Superman was.
Damn.
I thought the other Superman that wasn't black. That
Yo,
wasn't black and white. That was in
Christopher
color though.
Reeves. They had one that was black and white.
I
I
gotta check
think.
that. I gotta check that.
Interesting. It is interesting to, go through the 90s where the pioneer of it all, Stan Lee, created this alter ego of himself, like with different sets of comic books from you have Captain America, you have Black Panther, you have Wonder Man, you have Spider Man, and I don't know if you guys see it where back then there wasn't no TV shows. There was always newspapers, and the only way to get out comic books was in a newspaper, and you had to read the newspaper to get your funnies and and something to keep you going through all the crisis that was going on in the world, and you just wanted to escape. There wasn't really no gaming, no television like that. Television just got into play. Like during my time of growing up, technology started processing in the 80s. Like computers was oh like I would say like an Amazon warehouse or smaller than an Amazon warehouse. Like you got like big towers of computers trying to compute floppy disks. Floppy disks
It's floppy.
that was like megabytes. Like you needed
You know, that's like
you
you know, that's an artifact now.
yeah,
It's just an artifact. Ain't that some crazy shit?
yeah, yeah, that's the crazy part. Like how technology grew, and not only how technology grew, it gave the audience opportunity to see the alter egos that Stan Lee had produced. Like the reason why I'm saying it like that is because when you have Captain America, Captain America is like for the people, by the people, and trying to judge everything accordingly for the people. And you have governments trying to uh, take out your freedom or trying to bug you for things or trying to tell you how to run your life or how not to be civil with each other and therefore when Captain America came forth, it was like everybody could be equal, everybody could be civil. There's no need for retaliation amongst each other. Uh, that's how I seen Captain America. Then you have Hulk. He shows you the compassion, the animosity, the anger, the masculine energy that shows you that you can be angry. You can be civil at the same time. Yes, you have to hold your anger within you throughout all your animosity towards life or towards whatever you're going through. You're always angry, just like Hulk says. And it shows that little bit of representation of what Stan Lee goes through when he wrote these comic strips for us that Kevin Feige can produce. And it's astonishing to me that these sets of superheroes can bring that to the forefront with this type of technology that videographers and writers can produce as a fan. You get what I'm trying to say, guys?
I get you.
I feel like the superhero shit was made for like, motivation. You feel me? People needed like, like, kids, and it gives you like faith. You feel me? Like, it gives you like motivation. To do more, and and you know the special abilities that they have is only people wish they could have all that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
seeing it in real life is like seeing it like like an actual visual graphics of how it is now. That shit is beautiful because that's what we wanted to see in the first place after the comics. In the starting of the process into what we have right now.
That is right. That is right. But the question I have a little question for you guys. Like the way the writing is being told, sometimes I feel like it's a push and grab because it kind of fucks up with your logic in some sense of how the writer is writing to portray a certain way to get you to the point to make you angry and make you to the point where it's like what the fuck, you know it it is like it's like sometimes you're like when the shows come across, you feel like they should stick it to where it is in the comics, and then sometimes they revered a little bit to the comics. Then when you watch it as a fan, sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's bad. You guys don't see that lingering, or throughout time where we watch certain things and the writer give us this edge of being angry at them and at the same time uh trying to understand what the message is being conveyed.
Um, so I might go on a tangent here.
Go
If it
ahead,
seems
this is
like I'm
open
not
mic night.
following the theme of what you just asked, just guide me because I'm going to
Okay,
rant for a bit.
no, that's fine.
I love that a director or a writer decide that they're gonna take what is already established and try to either deconstruct it or try to approach the story from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because well, there's so much lore surrounding comic book characters because different writers come on and they do different things. Right, and it's never it's sometimes it's not consistent. Sometimes it's just too much because comic books have been a thing for decades at this point. So there's only so much lore you can cram into a franchise or a 2 hour movie or a 90-minute movie or whatever the case. And also you have to try to modernize the story so that the audience that you want to present it to, they can follow along and get some sort of the same enjoyment that audiences have readers have been getting for years. But with that being said, I don't like that sometimes it feels like the writers or the producers or whomever, they don't have faith in the comic books. They make changes that are unnecessary. Sometimes I get you need to put in the work, but you don't necessarily have to do that every single time. For example, She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, in the comics, if I remember correctly, she was the second person to learn how to break the fourth wall. There was this old lady who taught her, and then Deadpool came along and was able to do the same thing. But Deadpool is the most known character for being able to break the fourth wall. Not the old lady and not Jennifer Walters. She was a super kick-ass lawyer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So much so that they were like, "Yo, I gotta take her out," and
Mm.
so they did, or they thought they did. And here comes Bruce Banner to give her a last-minute blood transfusion.
Mm-hmm.
Now you come to the show. Um, they were able to, well, not really able. I don't know if we can call it an ability. Today, say, you know what? Screw that. We're gonna make it so that an alien ship just landed in the middle of Jennifer Walters' travel with her with her cousin, and some of his blood happened to go into her blood, and
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden she has the pulse now. Some people might find it interesting. I do not. If there was any place to embrace the comics more than ever before, I believe it was in that show. Just have a montage of saying, "Hey, here's what happened to me in the comics," because you know you're a comic book character. So say just do a montage of images across the screen to say, "Hey, if you go to this comic, you see that, oh, this happened to me here, then this, then that, and that." And then this is where my story follows. So they didn't need to do the whole alien Planet Scar thing again because the moment's passed. After Endgame, it was over. You shouldn't even be looking at that story anymore, and that's fine. If you miss the opportunity, that's it. Don't try to get that second win. it's gonna be a disaster. If you know you can't do it right or do it in a pleasing manner, just say fuck that. Don't worry about it at all. So that is my one of well, that's one example of me not liking how these people don't have faith in the source material. You go to the Netflix shows, or you go to the Netflix shows, and people are just they shit on the characters that they're trying to portray. They're trying to say, "Oh, look how dark and edgy I am. I'm not even going to dress like that." Luke Cage out here saying, "You look like a damn fool," when he had a comic book accurate ensemble on. And Hellcat from Jessica Jones season 3, I hate her fucking guts. But when she got her costume, she was like, "Oh hell no." When she tried to give Jessica Jones her jewel costume from um, season 1, she was like, "Oh no, this is stupid." We haven't seen Iron Fist um, put on his full thing either. His suit is arguably the coolest because of the whole Asian infusion thing going on with the headpiece and that and the gear.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think that's sick. Arguably, the
The,
best one of the
the
out of them, Daredevil, came
I
close, but not
Iron
exactly it.
Iron Fist Iron
Um,
Fist. It was a great show, but
love the source material. We want you say you want to adapt it. People are like, yes, we want to see this, and then you half-ass it because you want to do something different, and you're afraid you want to take risks, but you're not taking the risk that you should be taking. I mean, is that making any sense at all?
yeah, I hear you.
Like I love people's ability to want to reinvent something, but when you reinvent it, you must do it in a way that it make them love this original source material even more. So if you're not doing that, what the fuck are you doing with my characters? Get the fuck on. Um, Deadpool, everyone loves him, but if it wasn't until recently that I learned that not Daredevil, Deadpool had a voice in his head that he talked to. The reason being, he got fused with somebody. I don't remember what the character was, but he was trying to kill somebody, but he ended up getting fused with them. So now he had this inner dialogue, like he, hold up with this. It was mentally torturing him, but he dealt with it with his through his healing factor and just going with insanity and just talking
Mm-hmm. That was
um
Professor X's sister.
with the voice in his head, with
You
the
was
person that
referred to
only a voice in his
Professor
head
X's
all the time.
sister.
And
Oh.
how he even came to be able to can break the fourth wall. Something happened. He was taken out of the flow of time or into another dimension. It's like, yo, what the hell is this? Nothing
You're
at all real. I'm a comic book
you're
character.
referred to Professor X's sister. That's what you referred to about the whole thing in Deadpool's head.
The first time around, yes. This time around, no. That's not what I'm referring to. But even that, it that's another one that that change doesn't make sense to me. It still doesn't, and people praise it, and I don't know why. This is
Oh,
Deadpool's. This is one of that is one of Deadpool's main thing that is seen as a blessing and a curse. Now would have been the time for it to be a blessing. Him when she tried to go into his head, she should
yes.
have died just from that. But back to what I'm saying, the way that he discovered that he could break the fourth wall, because of course there's a comic book explanation for everything that a comic book character does. Don't
Mm-hmm.
shy away from the craziness. Embrace it.
Yes.
Embrace it
Yes.
for the better. Sure, do your own thing. Try to reinvent the wheel, but if you don't fully understand what came before, when you try to reinvent it, you're gonna do surface level shit, and it's not gonna be nothing beyond that. So like, oh, this connects back to the comic in this way. Sure, it's nice to have little Easter eggs and teases, but it's also great when you show a deep understanding of the character. The best example I've seen to date is Captain America. That is a character that's been translated perfectly, so to speak, from the comic books to the live action. You don't get rid of his optimism. He still kicks ass. He still holds on to his values. Every other comic book character I've ever come across, they change them in some major way that it almost doesn't resemble the comic book characters, unless but all save for the name.
What about Scarlet Witch? They sticking to the comic books in a way.
Okay, is she mutant or just someone
Yes,
who
she technically she's a
got
mute.
Who?
powers?
Technically, she's a mutant, but she doesn't know her dad.
Who? Scarlet?
Yeah, Scarlet Witch belongs
Oh yeah,
to
she's a mutant.
Magneto.
She's
She's
Magneto.
Magneto's
Yeah,
daughter, but
she's yeah.
Scarlet Witch do not know
They're
that.
adopted though. They're not. They're not. I don't think they're
For
not
legal
biological.
reasons, they're even if they're so damn afraid of saying the word mutant.
He adopted. He adopted him, her, and Quicksilver.
Yeah, but she don't know Magneto. No, no,
She's
Magneto. That's
a Omega
Magneto's
level
daughter,
mutant.
bro. Ain't no,
Huh?
uh, yeah, that's Magneto's daughter.
Oh, so I could have swore that he
Yeah, that
adopted
is.
both of them.
Nah,
But then,
Oh,
for
he
legal
I
reasons,
she
thought.
they
she
At least
got
I
changed
she
it.
thought
got
he did.
adopted. Yeah, she got adopted, but
Oh, I thought
uh,
he adopted them.
nah,
But
Oh,
am I
that's
making sense? Am I making sense at all? Am I just talking out my ass
nah.
here?
You're making perfect sense
you made every time
of
all the stuff
what
you said.
you're referring to the comic books that we
Even
have thus far.
even Christopher Reeve Superman wasn't represented perfectly. You ever see some of this? You notice some of the scummy shit that he
That's
did?
facts.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
the Christopher Reeves one, he kissed a girl woman to wipe her memories. You ever heard of that shit before in the comics?
Yeah,
Before then?
yeah, yeah.
And that's
That's
supposed to
funny.
be that's it's not
Facts.
the best representation of Superman in live action, but it's the one that everyone is familiar with. It's the best one that people know of.
Mm.
I mean, that's the same thing as like them saying
The Man of Steel
that
Superman,
Iceman
what
is
the
the
fuck was
best
that? Yes,
is
people love that. Oh, the
Omega level
cinematography is
mutant.
great and whatnot, but the essence of the story itself, weak. CW Flash, as much as people love it, it's it makes the Flash an idiot. You don't need a whole fucking team of people to solve something that only one person can solve. His powers are very inconsistent, which they do in the comics to try to make the fight interesting. But the degree to which they do it in live action is insane.
Oh, I love the show. That show is
Vandal
perfect.
Savage tied to Vandal Savage being tied to the Hawks, the Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Like what the fuck was that?
Because
Um,
that's part of the because if you
Arrow being
know
Batman, basically.
no 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 Flash has his own group. He has his own group that's connected to the Lanterns and Arrow.
Oh,
And,
speaking of Lantern, did you
hmm
know you seen
What?
Black Lightning, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Did
know
you know
about
that
that.
um Black Lightning's wife is Green Lantern's is John Stewart's sister?
yeah.
I didn't know that
Yeah,
shit. It was
If
last
you
night, not last night,
you
a
didn't
few
watch
days back.
you didn't watch the show.
Yeah, it's a few days back. I'm watching Young Justice with my girlfriend,
Hmm.
and I saw they were talking about. I'm like, ain't no way. You mean to tell me that the connection to bring in
yeah, but that's why I
John
said you gotta
Diggle
watch the
from
animated,
from
man.
from Arrow onto Black Lightning was just right there, and they didn't take advantage of this shit? Like, are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
yeah, you're right. They did not take advantage of it because of the simple fact that James Gunn was creating his own Green Lantern, and second, uh,
That's cool. Even if he
and
doesn't get to
second,
accept bring on the mantle, would be so nice to have the
but
connection to show, hey, hey,
but but check it
there
though.
is really a multiverse out here.
This is what happens in show business, where
Mm.
CW, well, let's put it like this, where DC that sold the rights to CW because
Mm.
they were a partnership, and they was talking about, oh, CW was bleeding money a lot by producing all these type of shows that wasn't making money because of shows like Black Batwoman,
I
shows
wonder
like
why it wasn't making
Arrow,
money.
shows like Arrow was gone. There was Flash left. There were Tomorrow. Some
Yeah,
something
tomorrow was
Tomorrow.
trying, and tomorrow was struggling. Just to crank out something.
Yeah, something Tomorrow. Black Lightning
Legend of
was
Tomorrow.
very yeah, Legend of Tomorrow.
Mm.
Then Black Lightning came. I didn't have a problem with Black Lightning. Black
Yo,
Lightning to
Black Lightning
me,
was shit.
Black Lightning to me was the starting point of bringing back Static Shock because that's part of his era. You know, that was my indication of like, oh, they about to start this. And when I saw Batwoman, I was like, oh, so this this show is following Christopher Nolan's Batman because the dude with the glasses, his
Mm.
dad was in the movie.
Oh, you're
So
talking about Lucius Fox.
yes, that
Mm.
was Lucius Fox's son.
It's not necessarily connected to that, but the characters in your head you
But
can have a personal head canon to say,
no,
okay, this is supposed to be that.
did no it was in the writing though for
They said it.
Batwoman.
They came
Yeah,
out and said, "Yo, this is a sequel."
no. It doesn't. It didn't say it was a sequel, but
That's what I'm
his
saying.
son was
It's a
there.
like personal
His
head
son,
canon.
his
Yeah,
son
he's
was
supposed to be
there.
Batman, and he's
His
a
son
Batman.
was there. His son was there. His son was Lucius Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's why there
yeah.
was a
Lucius
black.
Fox's son
That's
is
that's
becomes
why it was a
Batman.
black guy in Batwoman, and black guy in Batwoman.
Yeah,
He was
that's
in
the Batman. Yeah,
charge.
he's
He
Batman.
was in charge of the Batman's safe, Batman everything. His cousin, Batman's cousin, just entered into this. She didn't know how to be a Batwoman. You
She
know,
earned it.
she earned it because she was military. Of course, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. You know,
She just
I
walk in and say, "Yo, I'm gonna do this."
yeah,
These people, man.
because
I'm not.
because she couldn't find him. She couldn't find him, so she was like, I'm gonna just be Batwoman. And then the whole story came to turn where there was a black Batwoman, where she didn't
Oh,
want to
you watched
play
it.
where she didn't want to play Batwoman for some reason. I forgot what was the reason why she didn't want to continue on, but she made it where it was possible for her to continue on into the story of Batwoman. I liked it that they brought a little sense of Jokerism in there. I liked it that they brought a sensorism of Poison Ivy in there as well with Batwoman. I liked it the fact that they did that and they brought that type of nuance into the dynamic of Christopher Nolan's Batman. And and after that there was this other one called uh, uh, Batman Knights, something like that, where Batman's adopted son had to deal with the Court of Owls, and that was a good iteration right there, where his adopted son had to deal with that, because at that iteration there was a Robin girl, you know, in that particular iteration. I don't know why there wasn't any viewership with these type of shows that was going on with CW, but this is why the DC comic book failed in CW, but they kept Superman because Superman was more dominating than Flash put combined. Flash could have had another episode,
I think it's just for
but
views.
yeah, Flash could have had another
But nah,
episode.
that Flash series though, that shit was fire, bro. That
I
shit was
mean, they
whack.
had their misfires though. You can't say they didn't have their misfires. They did have their misfires
I mean, yeah,
with
some of the things didn't make sense, yeah. But that overall, I kind of liked it. It gave me that Flash feel. It definitely gave me that Flash feel.
yeah.
Like the character was perfect to me. You know, I mean. Superman. I like Superman. Like Smallville. Smallville was dope as far as Superman
Mm-hmm.
goes. Smallville was pretty dope. So I can
Smallville
give
was
him
very
that one
hella dope.
as far as Superman. Yeah, that was a good iteration of
Yo,
Superman.
has any of y'all seen the continuity comics for Smallville?
Yeah, I grew up with Smallville.
No, 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 no. After season 10, there's a one of the guys that was working on the show. I believe his name is like Quentin Miller or some shit like that. He
Mm-hmm.
continued Smallville in the comic book form.
Oh, for
Oh
real?
yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Do any of y'all know about it?
Nah.
I
I
know
wish
about
I
it, but
would have.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
man.
But I know exactly what you're
It's
talking
called the
about.
continuity comics. It's called season 11. Smallville
Yeah,
season 11
he's
comics.
not even Superman yet. He's still not Superman yet, now, right?
He's in the
Or he
comics.
just
He's
started.
Superman. He's doing Superman shit.
He had just started though, right?
They have their own multiversal thing. They have their own the Dark Side run
Oh,
it
really?
back.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Mm.
man. Wonder Woman
I didn't
out
get that
here.
deep into that. Pretty dope.
You have the DEO from Supergirl is there. That's the first place it was there before it was on Supergirl.
Oh, we even forgot about Supergirl. Supergirl.
Black Mask was running it. I don't know why the fuck they decided to do that, but yeah. Um, Batgirl is Nightwing in that reality.
Mm.
Yeah, man, it gets
I
active.
like Supergirl in the animated series more than I like Supergirl in the live action. The
Yeah,
animated series, I like that part of
Supergirl.
Supergirl better.
Supergirl could have been great. You know, my girl started watching Supergirl first in
After
in
season 2, it was
CBA
done.
in CBS. First it was in CBS first. Let's not knock it out. It was CBS first, and after that it transitioned to CW Channel 11 and stuff like that.
Yes.
I I don't know
WPIX.
if there wasn't enough viewership in CBS or something like that for it
No,
to
it was
go
on
track.
WPIX.
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about first. The first time when we
Oh,
saw Supergirl, it was on CBS. That was the
oh, you
first.
talking about the live action?
Yeah, the live action. It didn't
Yeah.
come to Pix 11 yet. It didn't come to there yet until after the transition and stuff like that. But Supergirl, I didn't really jive to it like that because it was more so of like Supergirl had to deal with Lex sister at the same time without
They
because
essentially gave her Superman story. That's what they did. They essentially tried to give her a Superman story and pass it off as hers, and thought people would notice it. What I did, she stole Superman's whole flow. There was nothing in that show in her character that was 100% her at all.
and I mean at the end she said it. She said that she wanted to be herself. She wanted to do things differently.
That's the
And
irony. That is the irony.
yeah, it is.
That was the fucking irony. When they finally introduced Supergirl, not Supergirl, when they finally introduced Superman out here sucking her clit, like you're so much stronger than me, Carver, you're so much better than me. Oh, you're the best. Oh, I love you. Basically, like worshiping, like what the fuck?
Nah, the reason why Superman said that was because
It's,
Superman been through a lot. He been through a lot to the point that decisions that were made when it comes to Brainiac, when it came to facing Brainiac, when it came to facing the Monitor, um, he didn't he lost his humanity in some sense. You know what I'm saying? With Supergirl, she didn't lose her humanity yet. She didn't
she never
face
had humanity. She's not supposed to. She's
no
basically supposed to be like a spoiled brat with anger issues because she understands what she had to give up. She understands what she not that she had to give up. She
not
understands
during
what she lost.
not
That's
during
what
the
her character
time
is supposed
where
to be.
she had to she was with Brainiac. I
You
always
forgot she
seen
was
it.
with Darkseid too.
Yeah, like I haven't I didn't see
After Darkseid, it
that
was over. Like she
she
definitely
broke
ain't that.
herself like Superman because Superman broke like he broke where to the point that he almost kind of killed somebody. to for the greater good. And I think that's the route that he was trying to convey to her cousin, where she didn't lose her humanity yet. Where for him it was like he had to lose his humanity because he lost the love of his life, because the love of his life was his center. You know
Yeah,
what?
considering he's not a human.
You know what I'm
Considering he's not
saying?
supposed to be human.
So that's why I think that the message was technically about, when it came to the messaging with Superman and Supergirl knives, because he lost his humanity, like how Flash almost lost his humanity, because uh when his girl was in the Mirrorverse, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to break her out from the Mirrorverse. He was panicking. He almost lost himself, because there were times that he had to face things that was out of his control. There was there was times that, like, should he go back in time just to save his one true girl from Flash? Superman didn't have that.
Oh, you're talking
Superman.
about his sister?
You talking about Superman? Or
You,
you
you mentioned the Flash. So
Flash? No, I'm talking about his girl. His girl.
yeah, yeah. Oh
No,
yeah, his sister. Yeah,
no, his girl. His wife.
exactly, his sister.
His sister. How is that his sister?
Nah, that's not his sister. That's
They
his
grew up
cousin.
together.
They're like that's like his
Joe
like
adopted him.
niece.
That's his stepsister.
You're looking
I
at it like
know
Oh,
that
his
there.
y'all
biological
overlooked that,
sister.
huh?
You're looking at it like that there.
Y'all
Nah,
overlooked that, huh?
they definitely related though.
When Barry lost his memory on the show, and
Oh
he saw Wally,
yeah,
and Wally asked he asked Wally, who is he? What did Wally say? I'm your brother.
yeah, facts.
Hmm.
What you talking about?
I mean, hey,
That's
the
facts.
That's his
the
sister, my
road
guy.
the writer put it that way. The writer wanted
Exactly.
to,
You go tell me nothing wrong with that.
it, hey, it happens in
What he
back in
do?
the
What he
time
doing,
history.
step bro?
I'm just saying now, it's like it happened back then. There were back then where cousins, cousins were husband and wives just to come to United States or to
That
UK, or just to survive. There,
What
I
in this
thought
biblical times?
actually,
they were
I
cousins.
heard y'all saying that.
cousins.
I thought they were brother and sister.
Yeah, that's what Nas is conveying. Like they were
I
brothers and
thought they
sisters.
were cousins.
Cousins, I don't know. They were never,
Yeah.
to me, they were never cousins. They were never brothers and sisters, cause
Yeah, you just wanna
Flash,
black that out of
cause
your head.
cause the thing is,
Like
Flash
nothing
never
to see
looked
here.
at her. Flash never looked at her as a sister. On top of that, because he always knew that he had a
Because
dad.
he on the prowl.
Nah, he always knew that he had a dad, and his dad was in jail, and he was always trying to uh get his dad out. He
Mm.
was just a guardian.
Meanwhile, he's trying to get it in.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So that was just a guardian for him. Like, it wasn't like that's, you know what I mean? That's why
And now
Flash took
he's
a
growing
that's
and he has
why
to guard
Flash
sister's box.
that's why Flash took a minute of of answering um her brother, when her brother said, "That's I'm your brother." He took a minute, because he's like, I don't look at you as my brother. Like, I
No,
look at
no,
you as my
don't change
brother
the
now.
context.
I
Don't
look
do
at
that.
you
You
as my
don't get to
brother
do that.
now because I'm
You don't
married
get
to
to
your
do that. You don't
sister.
get to change the
I,
context.
I'm,
You don't
it's
get to
no
change the
context.
context.
I'm just
You don't
looking
get to
at
change
it
the
from a
context, my
writing
guy.
story. I'm just
Do you
looking at
remember
it
what
from a
happened?
writer's perspective.
Okay, let me
Huh?
remind you what happened. He he had lost his memory. He don't remember shit.
Mm-hmm.
he when Wally said, "I'm your brother," the first thing he did was look at his skin. He didn't say, "Oh, wait a minute, no, that can't be because I'm with." No, he didn't say that. He said, and he looked at his skin and looked back at Wally. Because like, you black, I'm white. What you mean? That's where he
Exactly.
was because he didn't remember shit. He
That
didn't
that is
remember anything.
that's the whole premise of it. That's the whole premise of why the writer was
Stop
told
giving
like
them
that.
more credit than they deserve. Stop giving them more credit than they deserve.
Uh, there's always a red herring, Like there's always a red herring where the writer confuses you, where they try to
No,
confuse you. It's
no,
they.
they know what they're doing.
I mean, of course, but there's not many people pick it up like that. There's not many people that pick it up how Flash married his sister. Like there's
Dude,
not
have you
many.
not seen Warp? Do you not watch Warp Zone?
Warp Zone. That's something
Yeah,
new for me.
really. When I just came to this country, that's one of the channels I used to be watching when it comes down to comic book stuff. I
Mm,
love their videos. They did this
okay.
whole thing on if the Flash was honest, and they did the Flash theme song in a rap.
Oh wow, in a rap, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
That is
I'm gonna look
awesome
for
right
that. I'm gonna
there.
look for that one, and put it in the comment in the chat as well.
Definitely. Uh, you OG. What's your thoughts on DC as a whole and Marvel as a whole? Do do DC still got competition against Marvel, or Marvel's the one that needs to be looked at as a competition to DC? Is DC even back?
So Marvel had, I feel like, a bigger budget than DC, just in general.
Okay.
So Marvel wins on that front. So Marvel is connected to DC, who has even bigger budget. DC doesn't have. They have Warner Bros. Sure, but and not as big as Disney. So they're kind of mm, DC are kind of uh, handicapped because they are not backed by
Oh,
these by Disney.
okay.
I guess I don't know other way to say it.
Now it's cool. Express how you feel about the comic book.
I don't know another way to say it, but like, they don't have the same resources as
Hmm.
Marvel does.
Okay.
So of course Marvel would do better because they have more resources than DC.
Okay. That makes total sense. That makes total sense. At the same token, where you're looking at it from a marketing standpoint, and how much money is being run through DC and Marvel and stuff like that. Um, for me, looking at all the shows that's being produced thus far, I see that uh, Marvel has some competition. From looking at the Penguin, I mean, Agatha all along was a great show to look at. I'm definitely gonna talk about that in December when it comes on, when it comes on. The Penguin, it got me to where I want more. Agatha was like more of what I want more too, but it wasn't more to the Penguin, because the Penguin is like you get an hour of of Mass Effect, of you don't know what the fuck about to happen, because Penguin, he's maniacal, he's dangerous, and Agatha Long it gives you a story that that you never knew that Agatha had a heart. And the same thing with Penguin. So with those two shows that's being aired at this moment between DC and Marvel, they have competition, and it's good, and it's good and it's healthy at the same time, because the reason why I say that, because of how DC and Marvel put themselves together in a way of subscription base, because they talked amongst each other that we're doing this for the fans. Let's combine Max and Disney Plus together, and and make a good substantial monthly payment to the fans, which was with ads $17 a month, with no ads is $30 a month for just having Max and Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN. And to me, that was a no brainer right there, where fans that does like both has the opportunity to look at both, and to uh, look at how they're being marketed, and how how things are being looked at. And I'm sure Marvel's looking at the way that people are gravitated to the Penguin, and how the Penguin is being altered, and how it was very crucial to have. Yes, it's 8 episodes long. It's 8 episodes, but it's an hour long. I wish there was more episodes. I'm tired. I'm tired and tired um, of that. There is uh 40 minutes per episode, and the episodes are 8 episodes, or 10 episodes, and they're 30, 40 minutes long, with with the intro and the outro. I hate that. I wish that it would go back to where there was like 22 episodes. You get you get at least two stories within those 20 episodes. At least you're not looking at it like, I want more. I should deserve more. Where they break it apart, where you have 8 episodes for one season, and in the second season you have 8 episodes at the same time. Why? You just make one season and make it 16 episodes. Then second
Um,
season, you can make another 16 episodes. I hope that the the industry stop doing shows like that, because it's stupid. It's preposterous to have shows like that. Go ahead, OG. I'm sure you had something to say.
I think too, it's also about the audience. What's your target audience? So if I make a show like Penguin, that's more for adults, right?
Yeah.
And most adults have bigger attention spans than kids, so they will make shows longer. But they do a cartoon, like for Superman and Lois,
Mhm.
but tales that the cartoon one,
Mhm.
they're shorter, cause those are more towards kids. So they will make those shorter cause the audience is kids. What do you think about that? Well,
I
target audience.
well, it's I'll say this. OG, Nas, and Sky. I say this. I'm sorry for the youth that has an attention span that can't correlate to shows that is passionate in the storytelling that is being conveyed. I get it that it's it's because of the dynamics that we have to this day, that the shows are being shortened, and because of the short spans that is being across, because of Twitter that came across, that TikTok came across, where you just look at something for 5 seconds and just scroll for the next, and then you got Instagram doing the same thing, and then you got Twitter that's doing the same thing, where you got bites of information that us as you us that us that are human beings that are entitled to voice our opinions, to show the world what we have to say, and other people is watching it for just 10 seconds and grasp these things 10 seconds. These TikToks, Facebooks, and Instagram messed up that, where if that didn't exist, I mean, I don't want to say it shouldn't exist, because without it, for me as a content creator, I wouldn't be able to have uh I wouldn't be able to have this dynamic of YouTube where I can bring people people together and have this certain dynamic conversations that needs to be adjourned. And I don't want to say, Instagram, Facebook, and etc. is bad, but the way it's being adopted kind of messes up the mindset of the attention span. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Where that kind of messes up the attention span because of the way TikTok, Instagram, Facebook gives you, where you're getting small bites of information that you can understand, and then you can move on. You can
Yeah,
understand,
but you know, it's a
then
good
move
thing
on.
though. But the good thing is like, it's like you can now to the point where you can show, you know what I mean, if like, you know, kids don't know something, it's like, you know, teaching history, you feel me? Like if you don't
Yeah.
know, all right, well, let me tell you this and let me show you this, and I mean, and they might not, you know, have the short attention span, you know, they got short attention spans, but you can, you know what I mean, introduce them to these things, and you know what I mean, either some gonna get a liking, or they're gonna be like, oh, this is cheesy, this is too old, or know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, it's all, you know, but know what I mean, you're always gonna have criticism. Know what I mean, a person is never gonna be satisfied, and you know, you just gotta do everything the proper way. You know what I mean, sometimes everybody's not gonna see your vision of how you feel about this movie, and I mean, sometimes it's just good to go by the books. You know what I mean, so you don't have to hear nobody body mouth or hear much criticism. You feel me? And you can make money because these are people are spending their money. So you should be able to be obligated to be like, yo, you know what? Let's make something good for these people because they're using their money for this. Like without them, we don't have anything. So that's how I feel about all that. I mean, you want. I mean, kids to be more in tune with the stuff that's going on. Teach it to them. That's the only way you could do it. You're just gonna have to teach them. Shit, I can't wait
That
to have a kid, bro. I'm gonna be watching animated series, comic books, all that. Like, I mean, it's gonna be kind of old and cheesy, but it's like, you know, at least like when he gets older, he could do the same thing. You know what I mean? And they'll still, comic books and superheroes and all that stuff will still be a big thing. You know what I mean? Superheroes are a big thing. Like everybody loves superheroes, but like I said in the beginning, like it just gives you motivation. Like, know what I mean, it gives you like it makes you feel like you can get superpowers too. You feel me? So you know, it's all a good thing. But they just, you know, they just got to do it right. I mean, just don't, you know, make up a good thinking that is good to you and think that other people are gonna like it, because it doesn't always work like that. I mean, they just, you know, get lucky sometimes. But I mean, if you do it by the book, people can enjoy it.
true. I have a question. I have a question for you, Sky. What comic superhero that that you like? Why? And second, how does it portray to you in the real world?
That's a good one. Well, my like, if I had to pick like a favorite superhero comic, superhero, I'm picking Captain Universe. Captain Universe is pretty much Peter Parker when he gets the cosmic powers and he becomes Captain Universe. So, I mean, as far as like life goes, I mean, I just use the power of cosmic. You feel me? Like I got on a Silver Surfer hoodie right now with a infinity gauntlet ring. I mean, it just make me feel like I can control my atmosphere, and that's what I mean when I look at that type of stuff, like those type of superheroes, even Silver Surfer, you feel me? Even Thanos, you feel me? It just helps me and motivates me to control what's around me and the things that I can control. And I know whatever I want in my atmosphere, I can have it, and whatever I
Mm.
don't want, it won't be there. You feel me? So that's how I take it as like, I mean, Captain Universe, that's dope because Spider Man becomes cosmic, and that's a dope ass comic. Like, I mean, he only does it for a short time, but it's very dope. That's like one of the best, like to me.
What about you, Nas? Same question.
One more time with the question. I was a little preoccupied and distracted just now.
It's two parts. The first question is that who's your favorite superhero? Why? Second, how does it portray to you in the real world?
All right, boom. So this is a weird one. Um, my favorite superhero is called Papa Haga.
Mm.
Is a Jamaican character that's in Marvel. Was one of the founding members of the Defenders,
Okay.
and no one talks about him at all, and it pisses me off.
Don't hold off yet, because
It
Daredevil is
pisses me
coming
off.
back. The
Reason being,
Daredevil is coming
he's
back. So,
basically the Jamaican version of Doctor Strange.
mm,
Yeah, and he only showed up in the comics for like 2 issues, and then that was it. Never to be seen of again. March 2001, and no one ever seen or heard from him ever again. I'm like, why?
mm,
Um, and how it relates to me is, well, as a Jamaican and as someone who loves comic book characters and has this thing for looking at just I might not love to read like that anymore, but I still love to engage with the stories as much as possible, and I'm trying to see how this thing could be better. Um, and it was to the point where when I just came to this country, I was working on my own little comic book series based on my life.
mm-hmm,
That I kind of gave up on it. It's this whole thing. But I wanted Papa Hag to be a part of my story because there's a character that I was writing that's supposed to be a play on Killer Croc called Gala Wasp, and I wanted to have Papa Hag be a part of my story because no one seemed to give a fuck about the character. And in my head, in my arrogant self, I was saying to myself, you know what? When I grow up, my shit takes off, I'm gonna walk up to Stan Lee, and I'm gonna walk up to Marvel, and I'm gonna throw a water cash on the table, and I'm gonna say, "Yo, give me this character." And then
mm,
this man died, and as it, I'm supposed to feel sad because this man is a legend, and without him and the other, why is the other name slipping right now? But without him, but relevant to this conversation, most of the characters that we know and love today would not exist,
yeah, Stan Lee.
right? Yes. But at the same time, in my selfish, arrogant self is like, you couldn't wait until I buy the character from me before you die?
That is funny. That is funny. That is so true.
Because
So
at
how they
first the
how
Defender characters they were more mystical and magical. They took care of stuff that the regular heroes didn't really have time for, like supernatural threats, magic, all other dimensions and whatnot.
hmm
And Papa Hag was a part of that. And since they want to change the name and make it more street level, with Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones, and just say screw the other characters, I'm like, okay, fine. So since no one has any intentions of using these characters, I want one, more specifically the Jamaican one. And to make matters
mm.
worse, there came a character called Brother Voodoo, who ended up becoming Doctor Voodoo, a Haitian
Yeah.
character that came on the scene after the fact. I'm saying, really? You overlooked the Jamaican who was there from 2001 for this dude that just came. Like I was getting so irritated.
Wait, you're
Mm.
saying there was a Haitian and a Jamaican hero in Marvel?
Yes, Brother Voodoo. Brother
I
Voodoo is Haitian, and Doctor Strange trusted him so much that something happened, and Brother Voodoo became the sorcerer supreme for a few storylines. So he became Doctor Voodoo.
so that would be Dante Bookman.
What happened?
That would be like Dante Bookman from Dante Bookman story is like without him there would be no freedom for Haiti.
Really?
Yeah. You don't know who Dante Bookman is?
You're teaching me, my guy.
You're teaching me.
You're teaching me. I always welcome knowledge.
Yeah,
You're
like
teaching me. I
if
didn't know
it
about no brother voodoo.
because there was a Jamaican voodoo that was indoctrinated to slavery, but he was in Jamaica, but he got transferred over to Haiti, and he the one like if it wasn't for him, he's one of the four founding fathers of Haiti. It was Dante Boukman, then it was Dessalines. Then there was other two founding people that founded Haiti. If it wasn't for Haiti, it's called from the origin of Taino. Taino Tainos
Yeah, the
covered the
Tainas I
whole
know.
island. The Tainos covered the
The
whole
Tainas and the
island,
Caribs.
and we carried the name back.
Mm.
That's why Haiti is called Haiti. Technically, it's supposed to be called Haiti. That's how it's supposed to be sounding like.
Yeah,
But
AY
yeah,
E, I believe it was, or something like that.
yes, correct. So cause
Just
like,
like Jamaica was Yamai.
okay, makes sense.
Mm.
So
Then the Spanish came and called it Jamaica with an X.
mm,
But then the English said Jamaica, and then it got stuck with that.
yeah. So there was a lot, going on, and uh, this one I never knew that, but I believe that um because um Brother Voodoo was called Jericho Drum. His name is called Jericho Drum,
Mm.
and I believe that Doctor Strange story is not
Tell
done
me that
yet.
name though, son racist.
Jericho Drum.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to say that, you know what I mean, and that is very enticing and very a nuance to that because the question I have for you is that what made you um gravitate to these set of characters, and how does it portray to you in the real world? Like, for example, let me give you an example of how I look at things. From Captain America, Captain
Mm.
America is trying to protect the world and trying to give it some sensibility of freedom. Um, Hulk, Hulk, you get that masculine, you get that passion where you can be angry inside, but stay civil. Uh, those are the type of
And dealing with childhood
nuances.
trauma. Don't forget dealing with childhood trauma.
And true, that is true. That is true.
Because
That
he
is
is a
that is
Stardust monster.
My
that is true.
my
You
That's
forget
the
learning to control anger
Don't
too.
forget
You
that
forgot
part.
that too.
Cerebral
my
anxiety, childhood trauma,
my
Yeah,
which I can
he
relate to.
learns how to control it.
And a lot of
yeah,
other people can relate to.
my
yeah.
dad
So,
likes to hold kids of his method. He likes to message them don't lose your temple. That's
okay.
my dad's favorite superhero.
Your favorite superhero is what again?
No, my dad.
Oh, your dad
Yo,
likes
that
Hulk.
is so sweet and cheesy as fuck. That's so
That's
sweet.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
That's so
But
sweet.
yeah, that's the example I can give to you where you're saying that you like this superhero and why you like this superhero, but the question you haven't answered yet is how does it portray to the real world? That's why I call my
That's my
podcast
real world
Collide.
one.
That's why I called my podcast Collides because I always have to, have have a sense of the reason why these superheroes are trying to portray honestly into the real world,
Mm.
and what the dynamics of what they're trying to deal with.
No, my favorite superhero is the Punisher,
Mm.
cause
Okay, go ahead.
I, I,
One more
I,
time. One more time.
The Punisher.
cause
Okay. It's given. It's a given.
he's,
I should have seen
well,
it coming.
well, yeah, I have a thing on it. Right, well, icon on it. I like him cause he's a perfect total for a broken man. That's for Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, how the trauma affects you over time.
Okay.
And I just like the grounded, realistic approach to the Punisher.
Okay.
Um, but uh, I, I, I really enjoy him because his, he, he carries his scars with him
His
physically and
scars.
mentally.
Yes, he does. He
Like,
carries his
like,
scars
yeah,
mentally and physically. He does.
like, like the death of his family. I don't know, but not a lot of superheroes like go
He,
into that more realistic side of life. I
okay.
think that's why I like him, cause he's more realistic and more relatable compared to someone who has superpowers.
Yeah, and he doesn't have superpowers. That is right. Damn. Who?
OG, how,
He's a
how, how
Sith,
do you feel
bro.
about the cops
He's a
having the Punisher thing on their vehicles on their vests?
That is real life though. Real life.
Yeah.
That is real life though.
So
right.
How do you feel
the
about that?
so the Punisher scoring more for military that what it was originally made for. Cause the Punisher is an ex-Marine,
Yeah,
but
he is.
uh, it kind of spread to other areas like law enforcement
Mm-hmm.
and first responders. But originally it was meant for military.
Interesting.
Because
Well,
Punisher wouldn't fuck with that, right?
yeah, he hates people
He
taking
wouldn't. He
taking
would
Only
his
kill them
name.
Spider-Man is the
himself.
Punisher. I wish
No,
Spider-Man
he
was the
only
Punisher.
kills who he believes. And what I like about him too is his a question of morality is kind of skewed. Cause he's more of a vigilante. And I like
Mm.
those shows. Cause if you create a show or a movie that has that are based on morals and Christian morals, it forces your plot to be simple. And I enjoy the heck out of those type of shows. Uh, but that's just me though, because sometimes I get confused. Like a penguin, I got confused.
Mm. That makes sense. That makes total sense right there. Cause like these people that we see, um, in Marvel or DC shows us a different dynamic of sensibility, and also, like for example, I know people hate the fact of Joker, Madam Web, uh, that show this year. With Madam Web, you get the sensibility of slowness, turtleness of videography and how videography is being told from a slow pace, and then you have and then you have the
Style over
Marvel.
substance.
Yeah, huh?
Style over substance. Call it what it
Yeah,
is.
yes, correct. Then you have the Marvels where they wanted to bring down Captain Marvel's strength and allow Miss Marvel and Rambeau to show off their their new power, their new strength, and they wanted to show that little bit of funnyism of let's dance. Like that's all that showed me in Captain Marvel, where the song came up to me. I was like, "Yo, let's dance." To just out of nowhere have all of her husband's planet just go into smithereens because of one person that didn't like Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel was very angry at the fact that one, you took her, two, you taught her how to freaking fight. Why would you? What? Three, you wipe her memory because of a tessera. How is her fault? Like really, how is her fault that she got mad at the Supreme Being and she killed your son? Come on. She killed her. She should have just be okay with the fact that you're not in prison anymore. You're free. But then again, they were dying because they didn't have a son. So she could have just literally told her, "Hey, bro, give me son or give me death." Just like that was the whole thing to know from. It was like reminding me of what my founding forefathers said and America's forefathers said. Give me liberty or give me death. Like that's the same thing of Captain Marvel was portraying. Like the whole uh dance saga shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. It should have been more of character development into knowing Miss Marvel and Captain Rambeau together, as like Captain Rambeau is trying to figure out about her auntie and shit like that, and how Miss Marvel was so fan fan funded of Miss Marvel. I mean Captain Marvel, as like that was her protege of being what she is and how she became Miss Marvel. And you got Secret Invasions just out of nowhere with people can change into you and not you and stuff like that, where it kind of gave me with Secret Invasion, it kind of gave me into perspective as like people can alter your reality in a blink of an eye, like uh shows or channels or news outlets can be real, but when you watch other shows like CNBC or Fox or News Nation or Catholic News, you get all different sorts of understanding how they're feeling about what's going on in the real world. That's how Secret Invasion came to me. um, where you got What If. What If gives you all these different dynamics of world and all these different dynamics of what Doctor Strange was trying to portray in What If. Then you got Uh, then you got Ant-Man Quantumania, where trying to beat Kane, and Kane wasn't really that big old bad person that we thought of. Ant-Man just beat him to the pulp of understanding his power. Then you got all these different sorts of DC superhero where Shazam trying to be a kid, trying to be a kid at the same time, trying to be civil, trying to understand how to lead, and he knows that there's a big entity that's coming. How can he give that nuance of he's just a kid and at the same time trying to lead his troop? He doesn't really know. He's just failing to succeed at the same time. Then when you got uh Black Black I forgot his name from DC already because that show was showing me that it was more about he was he was into slavery and he didn't know how to save his people, and you got Shazam.
Black Adam?
Yeah, Black Adam. Thank you. Black Adam was more about slaverism. Was more about slaverism to the people that didn't really want to follow what it was being told, but had no choice. Had no choice, and he became Black Adam because he wanted to uplift his community out of poverty, out of slavery. But at the same token, he um didn't survive. He didn't survive. He had to be locked away until he got called upon again to save his community. And then you have Flash, Flash that failed miserably because of the simple fact that they try to portray Flash in the TV world, but had a little twist of he was facing himself. He was facing himself going back and back and
So
back and
say
back
man,
and back and back, trying to
so
alter
say
his
less.
reality with his own mother and his own father. What were you saying, Sky?
I hope you ain't talking about that movie. That shit was garbage.
I know
Amen.
that's what I was trying to portray of
Yeah,
of
what?
what they were trying to portray in the real world of the
Yeah.
dynamics between the movie
Don't
that's
give
being
them
told.
credit. Do not give them credit.
I'm not giving them credit. I'm giving them
Oh,
See,
you're out
where
here doing PR
see what you
work.
did? See what you started?
huh?
See what you started? Said, see what you started?
Yeah.
See what you started?
I'm not trying to give them credit. I'm trying to give you a idea of
Yeah.
what the writer is trying to portray in the real world of dynamic, or trying to portray of, like, for example, Black Panther. Black Panther is a story about Haiti, and no one knows that. No one never understand that Black Panther is the
That's
story of
right.
Haiti, and until you watch it, you start to understand that that's what's really going on with Haiti. That's what's going on.
Facts.
Then you
Yeah,
have
shit wild
they
over there right now.
Then you have Thor. Thor is talking about Greek mythology and trying to give you a sense of
Facts.
understanding of
Thor is
what was,
Norse.
huh?
It's
Thor is
no,
Norse.
Yeah, but it's talking
Norse
about
mythology. You said Greek.
Yeah, it's not Greek mythology.
No, it's Norse
no,
mythology.
no.
Oh, oh, no, okay, it's Norse mythology. Okay,
Yeah.
Namor is supposed to be Roman mythology, but they kind of said screw
Yeah.
that. We're going Spanish.
Facts.
okay, that makes more sense. But why they
That's
bring
why instead
Zeus?
of calling
But why they
calling him
bringing?
Namor, it was Namor.
But why they bringing? But in Thor, why they bringing Zeus if it's not
Because
Greek mythology?
yeah, that is Greek mythology, but the character
Yeah, Zeus.
himself
Yeah. Yeah.
is
Facts.
Norse.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know
But
why they put Zeus in it, but that's just what. He was. Like, you feel me? That's just what he was.
Yeah, that's the idea that these writers is trying to give you in the sense of superheroes that coexist in the real world that everybody's going through, and just watching these comic book films and trying to get a sense of uh, how should I say, uh, sense of uh, contempt, sense of courageness, sense of freedom, sense of ideology, sense of understanding walks of life. I should say. Um, if
What
Go ahead, OG.
what do you think about Green Arrow, kid? He was favorite DC superhero, and
Green.
I like him in the show because he didn't want to be a hero in the beginning. He just had a book with a hit list on, and that's all he cared about. And then slowly he developed into a hero. But I kind of like that, and I like when how he did a big change from a rich playboy
Hmm.
to a trained fighter on the Lake on island. I thought that was an interesting uh, i- change in the character, how he evolved.
Yeah, with Arrow, it gave me a sense of for Arrow, for me watching it growing up, it gave me a sense of courageness, a sense of uh fighting back to the person that's oppressing, the person
Yeah,
that's
this
the
shit based off of Robin Hood, correct?
exactly.
Wait, hold up. Which version are you talking about?
Arrow from CW.
Wait.
Yeah.
The
Not
show
Smallville, not
Arrow?
Smallville Arrow.
Yeah. I'm making sure I understand you correctly. The show Arrow
Yeah.
made you feel like fighting back against oppressors.
Yes.
Are you sure? The show?
Yes, because because the reason why is because that Arrow wanted to fight against people that wasn't doing good for his community. Yes,
Robin Hood.
he got those bad seeds from his dad. But at the same
I
token, his
thought it was.
dad
It started out as him just crossing niggas off his dad's list.
exactly. That's the whole premise of it. But
But whereas in
but
the comics,
but but
man is a flaming liberal.
but his dad is the creator of these bad seeds though. Understand that, Nas, because those people that was on the list was those people that
He went into
he
bed
was
with.
he was
He was
working
in
with.
business with.
Yes, he was in business with, but at the same token, his dad did not know the the treachery that was going on. So with Arrow's alter ego, he had to face that. He had to face that to the point where he almost lost his humanity if he didn't had his right hand girl with her. Because if he didn't have his right hand girl with her, he wouldn't have the sensibility of not killing people. Because
Well,
he was there when he kept on
You're talking
shooting
about the
them.
one he cheated on?
No,
wait.
I'm
Are
not
you
talking about
talking about the canary?
I'm not talking about
Or,
Yellow
or
Canary. I'm not talking about Yellow Canary or Black Canary. I'm talking about I'm talking about the girl with the glasses. Because the
the
girl with the
Are
relationship
you talking
yeah,
smoke?
Felicity? The
yes,
one
I'm
who
talking
kind of ruined the show in season 4?
how
Yo, they were talking about canceling the show after season 4. What you mean?
how did she ruin it in season 4?
The whole obsession with Felicity.
The whole obsession with Felicity. I mean. I mean, uh, you can say that
The
was
overindulgence of illicit, they were trying to they're like, yo, we had too much of this. We shouldn't have leaned this much into it. They're gonna cancel it. Thank you, God, for season 5 coming through and saving the show.
yeah with Prometheus, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
and
can anybody name the comic that Green Arrow first appeared in?
Yeah, man.
and
Green Arrow in the comics. When you were speaking, you're talking about the show as if this is the comic book version. The comic book version is all about that in great detail and on full display. He's not
Yeah,
afraid. He's not afraid to get in your face about his beliefs.
comic book
He
is
will
way
literally
better. His
he
story
will
in the
talk
comic book
your
is way
ear
better
off
than.
about how you're wrong for going down a certain path, and he's what you say now. After his time on the island just stranded, he started
yeah.
to re-evaluate life and what's important to him, what's not important, and they're
Yeah,
like,
I
you know
forgot
what?
he was
I
stranded
took
on.
I,
He was
I
stranded
took
on a
my life
fucking
for
island
granted
and shit.
out here having the best bitches just and all this money at my disposal. Yo, I'm gonna start being a liberal.
Mm-hmm.
If he was here, he would vote Kamala Harris. That's how much he
Robin
cares
Hood.
about people and about life and whatever
I
about it.
don't think he would vote for uh,
He is a flaming liberal, and he's
liberals are
he would be
not
against gun control.
liberals are not far left or far right.
Lib-
It's just it's just
Excuse me.
I wouldn't say he was a liberal. I'll say like like I said, like more like Robin Hood type shit. Like, you know what I
No,
mean?
but
He was
as in,
like
he's
at first he
past
wasn't.
that.
First he was like on
He's
some
past that.
assassin
Every
shit.
single oppression of any form. He would be for trans rights, LGBT rights, all of that, states' rights, abortion rights. He'd be
Cause I
for
could have
every
swore
single
he
one
was
of those.
but he
That's
is
the type
But
of
basically
character
an
that he
assassin
is.
though, right?
but
But he's
the thing
basically an
I'm
assassin.
talking about for more realistic
He would be
aspect,
against taxation of the poor and a whole bunch of other stuff. That's how he is to his heart because of his experience on the island.
the the
It's like,
thing
you know
how
what?
it
Life is precious. People need to have better lives for
Anybody
themselves.
gonna say
I'm
nothing
gonna get to
about
them the best
Aquaman?
way I can.
You know Aquaman?
wait the thing of the more realistic side of Green Arrow and why I can connect better with him than people with superpowers,
okay,
because it's more relatable.
okay,
That's why I like those two as an answer. It's more realistic and more relatable to me.
okay. That makes sense. I mean, cause
Yeah,
it is relatable.
that's a real answer.
What we say, Sky?
So that was a real answer. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, because he don't have no superpowers, just like Batman, or you know what I mean. Like I said, I look at him more as like a Robin Hood character because he is basically based off Robin Hood, and Robin Hood was like one of those type of people, like, know what I mean, we gonna I'm gonna be take the rich, get to the poor type shit. So yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that one.
Uh,
I just sent a Green Arrow video in the chat and a bunch of other videos. Whenever
Well,
y'all
who
get the
better, Green
chance,
Arrow or Hawkeye?
or go
Who
through
better,
them.
Green Arrow or
Green Arrow
Hawkeye?
all day. Fuck you mean?
I
Green
see
Arrow
it.
all day. Represent.
I can't say nothing. I mean, they both pretty much the same though. Like, it ain't really like it's not
Pretty
much.
much the same, but one is better, and that's
What,
Green
what,
Arrow. That's just where it
so
is.
what makes them better? Is it his skills? Is what makes them so better? And they
His
have the same
skills,
shit.
the variety of weapons that the variety of arrows and trips that he has. He fires faster. Don't let the show fool you. He fires faster than Clint Barton per minute. And
Mm.
I forgot what was the other thing. Like his level of endurance. The Arrow show did somewhat of a great job of portraying his endurance, but he can go on. I doubt what's his name again? I doubt Clint Barton can do that.
Mm.
The amount
Pat.
of people that Green Arrow had died in his life, and he's still out here looking the same. What Clint do? Get a mohawk.
Yeah,
Pat,
that
Man,
was a
I'm
good
so
one.
angry. I'm gonna shave the size of my head to show how
Pat,
dark I am.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Just like I asked everyone in here, the question I have for you is that what is your favorite superhero? Why? And second, how does it portray to you in the real world?
My favorite superhero.
Speak up, speak up.
That's a great question. My favorite superhero. Uh, is Deadpool considered a superhero?
If that's your favorite superhero,
I mean, he is an anti-hero.
Say it one more
Hero is
time. I didn't
hero.
hear you.
Hero is hero.
Is Deadpool considered a superhero?
yeah, that's
Actually,
it.
actually, I mean, I can't really say my favorite superhero like relates to me, but like I could give you a hero that I feel like relates to me. You know what I'm saying? Like right now in my current life stage. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if I were to say that, I would have to go with Cloak and Dagger.
Ooh,
Mm.
yes,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
go
I want to
on,
hear it. Go. I want to hear this.
yes,
Go ahead.
yes.
See, it like I thought somebody would touch base on this, but
Mhm.
honestly, I feel like as though Cloak and Dagger is kind of underrated. But it's just as
As
though
fuck.
you get the best of both worlds, and like you gotta understand, it's like it makes sense, bro. Like you got Cloak and Dagger. It's just like man and wife, bro. Like literally, bro.
Okay.
You got the soft side. You got Dagger. If you get defeated, you're getting swallowed by Cloak for sure. Like you're gonna meet the demon. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm.
either or you're not getting away. Cloak himself can already defeat anybody who fuck he wants because he could just suck him in and that's it. Pause, but
Mm.
like
Pause.
pause, but you know what I'm saying? That's all he got to do. He don't got to do too much.
Okay. Cloak
It's
and
like yin and
dagger.
yang, bro.
Yo, you know what I just noticed the other night?
Uh-huh.
Cloak's power is basically like the Phantom Stranger from DC.
Yeah,
Mm.
I
He does you see the Phantom Stranger when he's ready to transport somebody, he just lifts up his jacket and they're gone. And Cloak does the same thing.
Mm.
literally, I know exactly what you're talking about too.
Yo, which show did they say they were gonna bring back? Was it Cloak and Dagger or was it Runaways?
They better not bring
We
back Runaways. Runaways was
Yeah, I
trash.
heard that they were gonna bring back one of them.
I'm not entirely sure yet. We
I
still
hope
waiting.
it's Cloak and Dagger. Yo, because their story is it can't just end it after 2 seasons and just leave it like that. Especially with all the other shit that they're supposed to do
Yeah.
in the comics. For example, their arch villain is was it Negative Man or something like that, or Mr. Negative? I don't remember. That person helped to create Anti Venom,
Mm.
and then they had Roxxon they had the Roxxon Corporation in Daredevil, but all they are is just a bunch of ninjas, not the businessmen who create this thing that we saw in Cloak and Dagger. And I'm like, what's going on there? I want them to touch
Mm.
on that because that's another angle to work the Spider-Man stories, because Spider-Man story isn't just Venom or isn't just
Exactly.
Mr. Stark.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
His story spread
Yes.
out. All these different things
That's
connect back to him.
he's all around with it, bro.
Yep. So let's show other characters that are associated with him and how their stories intertwine with him to create this other thing.
Mm. That
Symbiosis.
that makes total
And
sense.
that's an
I,
angle that Marvel never touched on. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's just an angle. Like you see, that's the thing. That's their problem right now. They so
Hmm.
stuck up on doing shit that everybody already knows. Oh, Doctor Strange, Doc Ock, or Sandman. We already know these. That's basic. That's basic. Spider Man been to hella different places, and they don't even show it for real. For real.
Yeah, because they
Word.
don't know comics. They not even deep into that to where I mean they even know these type of situations and things. Like I mean I thought it would have been dope like if like I said like Spider Man turned into the actual spider. That was a dope ass
Yeah, yeah,
concept to
that,
me.
Uh-huh.
That
that
shit
shit
was
would be
actually
hard
awesome.
too.
That was fire. Like I was like, yo, and when I seen it, it was in the animated series when he turned into the spider and he was going around with the arms and shit. That shit was
When
fire. I'm like,
he
yo,
got 6 extra arms on the side, on or 4 extra
yeah,
arms on the
yeah,
side, and then
that
he
shit
turned
was
into a full on
fire, bro.
spider. Like,
yeah,
I
yo,
think
that
that was
was in
that'd have been good.
yo.
I would like
the
to see that
first
on
time
like
I
you know
seen that
camera
was
type shit.
Captain America. That was in Captain America: Civil War. That was the first time
See,
I seen Tom Holland come out with the spider hands.
And
it's,
yeah,
it's a lot
the
of
wing
different
thingy
things, you know
under
what I
the
mean?
arm, that's never been done before. I was like, yo,
It's a
that's
lot of
sick.
different. It's a
Bring
lot
it
of
back.
different things they can go deep into, bro. But it's just like it's so complex that they didn't even. They like I said, they probably didn't even do the research to even look. They'd be like, oh, they done did this, and we never put this in
Exactly.
the movie before. You know
Which
what I
goes back
mean?
to what I was saying
They're not doing
before
that.
about
Mm.
how they don't dive deep to find out what makes this character special. They just do surface level shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They
you
just give you like watered down shit.
so that's what y'all conveying about the complexity of Kevin Feige
Hmm.
not being being into comic books like that. You think that is the problem that
But
you
I don't
know
think it's just him though. I think it's others too.
It's the
Like I
whole
don't like I
team. It's
don't
not
think
just
like
him. It's the whole team.
yeah, I don't. I think it's others too. Like I don't like half the motherfuckers are just rich people that, know what I mean, it was like, oh yeah, we want to do this. Like, know what I mean, who really has experience in that whole field of comic books? You feel me? Like, if they don't have no knowledge of, you're not gonna never know none of that stuff.
And then other people become as
welcome
ignorant as them.
Gabriella.
That's why I think it's their job to it's your studios. You work there, so just take the time, be a geek. I get a geek to help you. Be a
Yeah,
nerd,
like everybody
and
know
I'll come
comic
on
books.
so
Like
that
you
I
can
can get
find a
better
kid,
shit.
you can find a teenager that probably know that shit already. Like, I mean, but they got a lot of stuff they can go deep into, bro. It's just how do you like because they are already on a concept, you feel me, they're trying to get into Secret Invasion, so I mean Secret Wars, so no, I mean they're just trying to keep it to where it's in the vicinity of that topic, like no,
They
I mean, and
pivoted
that's that
to Secret
shit's
Wars.
yeah,
They
and they
pivoted.
did it because they ain't had no other fucking choice. They
Yep.
could have did a lot of different stories, but this is where they wanted to take it, so now they have to keep it as that. Like now it has to fall into place with
Yo, if it changes again,
whatever the storyline is.
if that shit changes again,
Well,
Like it's crazy, bro.
the multiverse saga is complete. The multiverse is complete. They already have their sets of shows that's being entertained, and I think Doctor Dome is going to be the ending point of the multiverse saga. Uh,
That's crazy.
Doctor Strange is Doctor Strange. I don't think is going to be a part of the multiverse saga, but he kind of is because Doctor Doom needs Doctor Strange. Doctor Doom needs Scarlet Witch, to fulfill his battle world, and so to speak. And he needs Spider Man. Doctor Doom needs Spider Man. So, there's the complexity of who Doctor Doom is gonna be and how he's gonna be a problem. Hopefully that Spider Man the comic books that's coming up in January of next year give us that sense of back to the basics. You know, back to the basics that what we're conveying, uh, my YouTube fans and my Facebook fans, at the same time that we're having this constructive feedback to Marvel and DC of how they need to go back to the basics and how they need to pivot a little bit of trying to give us the same bullshit of Doc Ock
I feel like
or the
Marvel gonna have to
Green
step it up a notch, man.
or
The
Green
next couple
Goblin
movies.
or the Green Goblin. We already seen the Green Goblin. We already seen Doc Ock. We already seen uh uh Electrode. Like, come on, we already
Marvel,
seen
Marvel gonna have to
Sandman.
step it up a notch. They shows and they movies they doing right now. They gonna have to step it up, bro. Or, you know what I mean? They gonna spiral down, bro. The next couple movies and all that, it has to be as good as, you know what I mean, the last couple movies that you didn't did. So
Well,
that's an important thing.
Deadpool made it good for them. Uh, Agatha made it good for them. I won't say.
I mean,
Uh,
like, what we waiting for that's anticipated though? You know what I mean? Like,
well,
what's going what people like? Yo, damn, I have to see this. Like, what's next as far as Marvel goes? Like,
well,
Captain
we.
Venom.
America, Brave New World,
besides Spider
Mhm.
Man, besides Spider
the
Man
Black
and
Exploitation.
okay,
We have Wonder Man coming up next year.
Mm-hmm. That I'm interested to
yeah,
see.
Wonder
I'm
Man,
not like
yeah.
super hyped because they put this off for so long, and plus they already did Blade Dirty. But I'm
We
kind of interested.
we have our friendly neighborhood Spider Man that's coming in January. We have Daredevil. We have Eyes of Wakanda. We have Ironheart. We have Marvel Zombies, and we have Wonder Man. Wonder Man.
But which of those are you actually
Facts.
like super
All
hyped
right,
about?
so I mean,
I'm
the only
super
thing I can
hyped
say is
for
Marvel
Daredevil.
Zombies.
I'm super hyped for
Uh,
Daredevil. I'm
Daredevil's
su-
okay. It
I'm
depends on the
super hyped
storyline for me.
for Captain America. Brave New World.
Uh,
I'm super hyped for
I'm not even gonna
Thunderbolts.
say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing about
Really, Thunderbolts?
Yeah, you didn't see the trailer?
I did.
that.
Did
That shit
you?
was funny as hell. Right now, there's D23 Brazil right now. So the trailer was hot. I didn't have a problem with the trailer. You know what I mean? The trailer got me giggling.
I don't know, man.
You know, the trailer got me giggling, and
I'm just saying, but out of all the ones that you name, right?
mhm.
Which ones like which ones you think that's gonna be like at the top of all of the ones that you just named? Like which one is gonna be at the top?
Daredevil is
He
gonna
already
be the
said
main.
Daredevil.
Yeah,
Daredevil is gonna be the main topic of being talked about. It's gonna be the main topic because they want to see that if they stick to the grassroots of what
But
Netflix
what team is
produced.
working on it though?
The same people.
oh, man.
Then
Daredevil
then
though.
DC then DC
Over
you
Marvel
have
Zombies.
then DC you have Superman. There's
I mean, Ironheart.
Supergirl.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. That I think
Su-
that's shit gonna be fire.
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Then you have The Authority. Then you
Yeah.
have Brave New World. Then you have Creature Commandos that's coming out December. Then you have Green Lanterns. Then you have Pace,
So what you think?
Peacemaker.
Who you think is gonna be more impactful, DC or Marvel?
Uh, it all depends because Superman is a different alteration. It's a different alteration, and it's gonna be
Mm.
very different for me to.
Oh, that's on Kingdom Come Superman, right?
Yes, correct. That is
Now
Kingdom
that
Come.
storyline fire, bro. So I hope they do it. I hope that's up to par because that's gonna be a good
Mhm.
one. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
That's
uh,
gonna give you a real version of Superman. Like that's like out of like the couple of those that you said, that one was a good one. I liked that one.
then
That's a good storyline.
then you have the films for DC. You got Superman. You got Supergirl. Then you got the Authority. Then you got
Mm.
the Brave and the Bold. Then you got Swamp
Can't
Thing.
wait for that.
You
Swamp
got
Thing is
Swamp
gonna be
Thing.
fire.
Then you got Teen Titans. Then you got
You hear that? Like that sounds fire to me. Like what? What? Oh man, Teen Titans is fire automatically. That's an automatic boom right there. Like
then you
what?
got Bane. Then you got Bane and
Damn.
and Deathstroke. Yeah, you got Bane and Deathstroke for just film.
What?
Then TV shows you got Creature Commandos, Lanterns, Paradox Lost. Then you got Blue Beetle animated. Then you got Peacemaker. Then you
Ooh.
got Walker. Then you got Booster Gold. Then with the Elseworld, you
Oh,
got
Booster
Batman.
Gold word? That's fire. I like Booster Gold. He funny as hell.
Then
He's
then
lame, but
Elseworld,
he
you
dope.
got the Batman 2. Then you got Constantine. Then you got
That's fire.
the
Wait.
dynamic.
Did you just say Constantine?
Yeah, Constantine.
Yeah,
Constantine too.
Constantine fire. Yeah,
Get the
that's
fuck.
fire.
Wait. With Keanu Reeves?
Well, we don't know yet. Still in production.
Yo, don't
Yo,
don't get my
yo,
hopes up.
We
yo.
Constantine 2
You said
is
some
is in
shit.
Don't get my
production.
hopes up. Yo.
So these are shows that DC and Marvel is producing. I will definitely talk about that in the next podcast for sure. That these
Facts.
shows is gonna have their merit. These shows is gonna have their merit that I talk about because there's about 10 different 10 different shows that's being being talked about, and I would like to talk about it in origin form at the same token. With that,
Fire.
you know, DC and Marvel gives us a lot of shows that may not follow through, may not grasp to, like how I watch everything and I can give you a brief synopsis of each film and how I look at them in in a writing, just like how Nas would say, "Oh, don't give them that red herring where in the videography or in the writing where Nas just spills it like, yo, it just sucks, bro. What you talking about, bro?
Yeah,
It
man.
just
Don't glaze them. They don't deserve it.
But
Yeah, man, gotta be hard, bro. Gotta be
that's what
hard on them, bro.
exactly, without being hard, without giving them self criticism.
They have to
For
earn it.
You're right, and
Facts.
they do have their merits in earning that. It's just
Cause
that,
like my favorite movie of the modern day, my favorite of like for right now hasn't been
hmm
beaten in my eyes yet, is Aquaman, the first Aquaman movie. That's my
okay,
favorite for now. But even that one has a bunch of problems. So many problems. So many
yeah,
damn problems in that. But that's the best one in my eyes. Then Wonder Woman, and the Wonder Woman has its own problems too. The first
Yeah.
one.
that's
The
true.
second one don't count. It didn't exist.
They was kind of cringe to me. Like they was alright. It was kind of cringe though. I give
But
it a good
for
7.
but for me, it gave me a sense of understanding the underworld, the ocean of
Facts.
seahorses
That's
and
definitely facts.
and looking at different animals in the water.
It was
When it
beautiful.
like
So beautiful.
that's how Aquaman portrayed it for me. Like how to
But that
understand.
final fight,
Yes,
as good as dope as that final fight was, do you know that in real life, since you were talking about how they're trying to make it to how we would interact with that stuff in real life,
yeah,
in real life, that would have been a disaster for the world.
correct. That would
That would
that
have been a
would.
disaster for the world. That's where I have a problem with it because I didn't notice that before. Before thing there, what's it called again? Film theory pointed that out to me. I was like, hey, no, you're right. That would cause some serious catastrophe,
But that
earthquakes, volcanoes, tectonic plates shifting off that undersea fight.
Yes, that is true. Black Panther showed that. Black Panther in the last movie showed that if you mess with the underworld, this is what's gonna happen. And the underworld is not gonna back down from any threats or any enemies that's trying to take from them. They're not gonna back down. Aquaman showed that from DC perspective, and uh, Eyes of Wakanda showed that in that perspective
I don't
where
think it's the same.
it. It
Wait, let me
is.
see where you're
It
going
is
with this, but
because
it's not the
North
same. I'm
because
talking
North
about the
Aquaman
casualties of war
half-assed.
and the
it
casualties
is.
that
It's still
happen to the
the
earth itself.
it it
You're talking
is
about people
though.
actually saying, you know what, we are gonna deliberately go and fuck with the earth, the surface landers because the surface dwellers because they fucked with us. That's what you're talking about. I'm talking about how accidentally you're not thinking about the ramifications of this thing. You having your squabble down here is causing significant damage to the landscape above without you intending for that to happen. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I agree with you with that. That's why I'm giving you the same dynamics of how Aquaman, Underworld had their kings and queens in different sectors and stuff like that was living in, and the same thing with Eyes of Wakanda. They had their own groups that was never talked about, was never introduced until until the enemy couldn't steal any more vibranium from Wakanda. They went they went under, and when they went under, they try to take from what was it theirs, and at the same token, there was some casualties lost from war. His mom died from that, like from that, was trying to protect his her daughter, where her daughter didn't really need protecting, but at the same token, she didn't really know the threat, so all she knew was trying to protect her daughter until her daughter was like, "Yo, I don't need protecting. I don't need you to save me. I can be able to have a conscious mind and trying to convey a message that wins." But her mom is old school. Her mom is old school. Her mom didn't believe in uh doing things differently than than how Black Panther was doing and how her parent was doing. They didn't think that there was a difference of opinion or trying to trying to uh, fix the problem without being angry or trying to kill innocent bystanders. That's what happened in Eyes of Wakanda. People died. The people died from both sectors. And Quant and Aquaman, people died. At the same token, people died. Their people died. Not her mom. His mom didn't die, but people died. Because of war, people trying to take from what was it theirs. That's the dynamic that I was trying to, convey, Nas. I'm not trying to be a red herring or anything like that for producers or writers. It was just that this is what they were, trying to convey to the real world, and so to speak, Nas. You hear Nas? Did I beat the battle there? Did I win there?
The first time I ever see him stop.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this,
I know he probably gonna have something to say.
yeah, you probably do. There's always a battle. But that's what I was saying. Like, when it comes to writers, I'm not trying to hold their hand. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm giving them criticism to the utmost respect of conveying a message where I'm not trying to humiliate them. I mean, I could be the person of bad news of like, yo, your shit sucks. I could curse the fuck out of each film that they portrayed Oh, here you go, Nas. You got
Hmm.
something to say there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I don't think they suck all the way. They suck up to a certain point, or this part sucks, and then this part is great, but then that part sucks.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what trying to convey in a message of positivity. Not, I mean, sometimes we do as human beings and as creators, um and as fans that are passionate, that wants the show or the film to look right and to act right, into videography, into writing. And then when the writing sucks, it's like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I do understand from everybody's perspective, um, as like, what the fuck? How and why these shows are being portrayed. What's good? What's good? How's everything? EB?
Ibra, or is it Ibra?
See, bro.
Ibra, you here?
Hello? Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute. Yeah,
Yes,
you guys hear me?
yes.
Yeah, it's
Welcome,
Ibra. Ibra.
Ibra. Welcome to Collide, where we talk about Marvel and DC. You like comic books?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I just chill a little bit and leave. I'm sorry. I
No,
don't.
it's
Yeah.
no, it's cool. It's understandable. You could learn from this podcast that I do twice a month. This month I'm doing three. It's just open mic night to understand the complexity and the dynamics that um comic books portray to us. You know, hopefully you can be able, by listening to us, you can be able to have some type of understanding and watch a Marvel film or a DC film that can portray to you, and have some type of understanding of the complexity that us as a fan wants in a DC and Marvel film. You following me so far?
Yeah, yeah, pretty cool. I'm gonna chill here for a little bit and I'll listen and try to give it understanding and see how it betrays, the for the
Yeah.
the time that we're living. You say try to understand the dynamic and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been here for about almost 2 hours. I'm gonna give you a snip, composed theory of what we've been talking about throughout this far of time that we have. We've been talking about different walks of, like, from DC, where we have Superman from back then, of Christopher Reeves, how the dynamics was from there. Then we have Flash. Then we have Blue Beetle. How we understood that when it came to Superman, of trying to save save his mom, save his girl, understanding the dynamics of being in uh, the Bugle Planet. I believe that's what it was called. Um, of being just a news reporter,
Yeah.
and understanding of
You,
Black.
you know what, Jesse? I gotta be genuine. I did not read the title. Honestly, I've never been a Marvel guy. So I, what? I just gonna be genuine. I just, I wish you guys like a good night, and appreciate like your, being thorough and cool. I'm a
Yeah,
South
no.
Park guy.
Oh, you're a South Park guy.
um,
That is
I'm,
that
I'm,
is all. That is awesome. That is an awesome comic
mm,
comic book in itself. I love South Park. South Park was very cool, but the South Park, it shows that it can be creative in a way of understanding governance, of how they can be funny into that, where Marvel and DC portrays that as well. where you got Captain America that portrays that in the whole dynamic of governance at the same time, where
Mm.
where I understand where South Park shows you each episode of different takes and different ideas that's going on in the real world, where DC and Marvel portrays that with their comic characters as well. Like,
Yeah.
again, you have Thor. Thor, he comes from Norse mythology, where you got Black Panther shows you about uh, what Haiti is about and the history about Haiti. Where you got
Mm.
Miss Marvel that shows you about um, Palestine and how the history with Palestine is about, and you have also Captain Marvel, where it shows you about the galaxy and how the galaxy being portrayed and how the dynamics of different worlds is about. And then you have um, Ant Man. Ant Man shows you the science of microism, new um, how plutrons, how neutrons coexist in the real world, um, how small things can be able. The smaller you are, the time, the time circumference can become for a person for a person that's in a minute or plutron or neutron form. And when you got Black Adam shows about slavery and um, how he's trying to uplift his community, where you also got um, Shazam trying Shazam just out of nowhere, he's just a kid and also trying to be a leader to the people that he gave power to. Then you got Aquaman trying to show you the underworld of seahorses, of sharks, or different animals that live in the ocean. And those are the complexities that shows you in Marvel and DC versus uh, South Park. South Park does show you the same thing with Marvel and DC, but Marvel and DC shows you more of the dynamics that's going on in governance, and that's how I can portray with South Park, with Marvel and DC. I'm sure you can give me a different dynamic of, and I'm sure Nas and Sky and OG can give you the same dynamics of what South Park is about as well versus Marvel and DC. Because I'm not too familiar with South Park. I'm sure, Ebran, that you can give me a level of understanding with South Park at the same token. Correct me if I'm wrong, you know, at the same token, because this is Collide, where we all collide in different walks of life and different dynamics, and we're here to give each other feedback of the understanding of what we understand as true fans with DC and Marvel and any other comic book as well.
Well, I mean, Marvel stuff is just kind of easy to digest, kind of, stories and narratives.
Hmm.
And I never, man, I never got drawn to Marvels and superhero stuff. And I think part of it because I was never grown up in, like, I feel like Americans, it's because it comes from like childhood living in the States. So I believe if I lived here, like if I had my childhood right here in the States, I'll be like, maybe I'll be like attached because like there's a kind of nostalgia about it, about like your childhood and stuff. Um, but for me, never connects. Yeah, I grew up in the Middle East and I came here like in my 20s, learn the language, and And then as an adult, I really, man, fell in love with South Park. South Park is like, it just goes on deep and goes in layers and layers and layers. And the comedy is genius.
Mm-hmm.
It's different, and I can even add that it's what's the word for it? It's a little bit cynical. There's like a darker word than cynical. A cynic, yeah. What's a cynic person? Who's like a little bit kind of like, I can feel like, I'm not
It's
gonna
dark
lie,
humor.
like you can feel the depression from
Okay.
the writers. There's like there's that feeling of like, fuck it. There's like always a lesson at the end of every episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a hint of being cynical, and nihilistic, I guess. And it just I feel, yeah, it makes you laugh
Mm-hmm.
about some stuff that we don't have control over, right? Um, and I can see, people who watch South Park, like I can, I watch South Park, but sometimes I watch South Park through other people's eyes, and I feel like there's like three layers when you watch South Park. Like, there's some people like, okay, they laugh because like Cartman did something funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's like another layer where it's like, it's there's another like jokes they don't get it, but somehow it's kind of really silly. It's not for like, it's there's another layer of comedy. It's like when you get bored of like all kind of comedy, there's like another layer of kind of different kind of comedy, where like, they because they it's so funny that they betray the whole story through children, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole show is not for children, it's for adults. But at the same time, they're using children to, like children's character, and they are dumb. Like, those kids are like, I mean, okay, give you the fact that the adults are like even dumber, but like, oh, like the way, they portray the story is like, they, through those kids, and like you can feel like, you remember like how we used to be in third and fourth grade, like we used to be
Yeah.
dumb, and we say dumb shit, and now we remember it. It's like, I remember like I was debating a friend, like, how you have a baby with a woman, like, and he was telling me like, you I'm sorry, man, he said you fuck her in the ass to have a baby. So I'm like, no, dude, you fuck her like from the front. It's like, no, you fuck. It's, it's hilarious, dude. When I remember it, it's fucking hilarious. And they still do this kind of shit at South Park. And when
Yeah.
they do this kind of shit, it just cracks me up, man. And there's like a third layer where like they explain to you like what's happening in the country, what's happening in politics, like how, like, how, you can tell, man, like
Yeah.
how the establishments and like how they play you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how Democrats and Republicans are the fucking
Yeah.
same shit. And it goes deep, and it just like, man, it tickles my brain.
Don't forget about Token Black.
Yeah. And yeah, I went in a tangent.
Yeah.
And
That's
the
that.
difference between fag, like a fag as a slur, and fag as just a knee jerk reaction to something.
Yeah,
Nas, you
yeah.
you you seen South Park, right?
I personally have never seen it, but I used to watch a lot of clips on YouTube.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I get every single thing that he's saying, and I agree with it.
Yeah. That's
I
I've
that.
seen
That's
every
that's
single
what that's one.
episode of South Park.
Yeah,
Oh
South Park. If you don't live in the
I've seen every
states,
single episode.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, Sky. I'd love to hear from you.
No, I said I've seen every single episode of South Park. I grew up off of South Park. I was a kid watching that.
Yeah, what do you think? Like, it's, I don't know. I went in like, what do you like? Agree with me? Disagree? What do you can add? You know.
No, I agree with you. There's a lot of it's like a lot of real life stuff in it, and you know, they just take the humor and piss a lot of people off. That's what I love about South Park. Like they take the topics of modern day life and they put it in and they put it into dark humor. So when people see it, they automatically get offended to from what they see, and then it just be like stupid shit.
It's a better
It's
version of
stupid as
Family
hell.
Guy.
Like, but it be real life shit though. Like, but I just love South Park. That's like one of the best shows ever made in the world.
And it's the only show that like somehow like it does not offend anyone, you know. And it's just like the way like
Don't forget
they
about
use
the
like
Simpsons.
Huh? Doesn't
Don't
offend
forget about the
anyone?
Simpsons. Don't forget about the Simpsons,
the
man.
South Park. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like
Don't offend
South Park
anyone? Are
getting
you
a
sure about that?
pass. Yeah.
Don't forget
What?
about
I
the
don't.
Yeah.
Simpsons, man. You cannot forget about the Simpsons.
I did not watch. I gave it a try. I did not watch it. I remember when I was a child, like
What?
it was on TV,
South
but
Park
I
doesn't offend anyone.
never give it a try. Honestly, I used to think that Family Guy is funny, but right now, when I start learning English, I used to think that Family Guy is funny, but now
The
I
recent
watch.
episodes, the recent seasons of Family Guy, South Park, is better than it.
Yeah,
Facts.
they
They did a crossover.
After
They was having a
Seth
war.
MacFarlane stopped writing for the show.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, they hate the people that made South Park. He was like, yo, we hate Family Guy. They always say
mm.
that shit.
I think he's the reason he stopped writing. They fucked him up mentally.
But uh quick question, Ibra. Did you watch any Marvel or any DC that made you made you feel like this is not for me? What made you feel like this is not for me to so I can get an understanding from a feedback like made you gravitate to more South Park than actual comic books.
I feel it's kind of like it does not stimulate, my. I like a little puzzle,
Okay.
and also it just I like a hint of like a little hint of sprinkle of like a little kind of dark comedy and um yeah, and it just I feel like I don't want to say something that
No, go,
because
bro. Go
I
ahead.
yeah.
This is what Collide is about. Collide Collision Command.
I feel a little bit childish, man. It's just
No, go ahead.
Go for it.
I
Go
just
for it.
yeah,
told you I
and
watch South Park. I
yeah,
just told you I watch South Park.
yeah. South Park is for adult, just
Bro, we're talking about comic
who's
books.
yeah.
like that's as childish as it really gets in all realism.
Okay.
But again, like I can't like I told you, like I can feel like it's something because now I grew up in the Middle East, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's some
So do
stuff
you have
like
any like superheroes or like where you from? Do you have any like superheroes or maybe somebody that you looked up to that's like similar as a superhero? Maybe like it made you feel like you can do like conquer the world or lift up a car or do you have any like I guess like motivational like people?
well, I mean, there's maybe I'm different, but I think like there's like some cartoons, and I think in the Middle East we usually have like Japanese stuff, that it's
Okay.
dubbed in Arabic, and we have some like maybe like Russian cartoons like early on, and then like a little later like Pokemon and stuff like that. But I don't remember specifically like superhero, specifically a superhero character. Uh, Probably there is, but yeah, there's like this cartoon about football.
Mm.
Um, there's a cartoon I really liked when I was actually like I remember when I was a child. I was watching this cartoon, and I every time you see, I think since I was a child, I really like complicated stuff. And this cartoon called the Nadia, the Secret of Blue Water. And I remember, every time I watch. when they bring this cartoon, they bring a random episode, and dude, this cartoon is like amazing. Like there's two kids, like a kid. There's a like a lost girl. Like she doesn't remember where she's from. She's wearing like a diamond in her neck. There's this like French boy trying to help her, find her heritage. She's saying I'm from Africa, and it's like it's in the 18th century, where it's like the steam power, industrial era of Europe. And this French kid, like, he loves engineering and stuff, and he said, I'm gonna build you an airplane, and I'm gonna take you to Africa to find your family. And they end up like lost in the ocean. They got picked up by like a submarine, you know that belongs to like very very secretive movement that fights evil in planet Earth, and like nobody knows about it. And there's like two, you know and all this kind of shit I did not understand when I was a kid. Every time I was like, this is amazing, but I have no clue what's happening. And it took me like until like I grew up, and I got, became like an adult, and it's like, what is that fucking cartoon, and I was start looking up the cartoon. I found it like in English, you know, and I rewatched it like maybe 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and it was amazing. I cannot get in the details like what's gonna happen later, but it's like it goes deep, So I guess I like something really really, the mysterious, stimulate my mind and make me like want to know what's happening. And also, like there's like layers. It's like I feel like if I can crack this code, I feel like somehow I feel like a little ego, where like I feel, there's like a reward. I know more than you because I
Mm.
spent some time trying to figure it out.
I get I agree with that because I think that's what Nas and Sky agree with that, where that's what's missing in DC and Marvel films that's going on right now, is that they're missing that nuance um of puzzle or
Complexity.
or complexity, correct. And that's what's missing in Marvel for new fans to adopt to the comic book. And for me as a comic book fan, uh, I tell you straight up, that's majority of the time that's what's missing. And the way the writer is being trying to foretell of what it needs to be done for for that character, uh too much of trying to fit diversity, too much of trying to fit a nuance of trying to make everybody happy, or some or or
Right?
or, or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be, right?
It's like
So
the new Spider-Man is out. So what's new? Like we put like a black kid. Oh, okay, but what's new? No, it's the same story, but just like there's a black dude. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Like,
yeah,
okay, put a black dude, but just give me something that is just new. You know.
yeah.
Okay, I think I'm brainstorming, and I think I got you. If you want like dark comedy, check out the Harlequin cartoon that's going on.
Hmm.
Deadpool and Doom Patrol. That's DC.
Doom Patrol, yes,
Doom
yes,
Patrol. If you want dark comedy, you go there. If you
Yeah,
want
Deadpool, you'll
if you want
definitely
puzzle, you want
definitely love that one.
what's it called again? You want Young Justice. That's a
yes,
puzzle.
Yeah.
That's a
yes,
long puzzle, and
yes,
you're captivated the whole step of the way. If you
yes.
want tragedy, go to Swamp Thing. If you want like some serious
Oh,
shit,
you're
Swamp
going
Thing
in.
is your guy.
Yeah.
What do you say? Young
Definitely.
what? Young
Young Justice.
Young Justice. Okay.
It's an animated series
Okay.
Yes,
if
and
for that type of stuff.
I'll
And then
write
there's
down.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
another one. It's very dark and gloomy.
Yeah.
I gotta
you
say,
gonna watch some. You
the
gonna watch
guy,
something
the
stupid?
Guardian, the
Beavis
Guardian
and
of
Butthead.
yeah, the Guardian of the Galaxy
Mm.
intrigues me somehow. For some reason,
There we go.
yeah, I when it comes out, I go watch it, and I like it. For some
There we
reason,
go.
yeah.
So you like Marvel?
But is it Marvel though?
That's
Yeah,
Marvel.
Okay, so yeah, from all like Spider Man, Batman,
There we.
Superman,
Batman is DC. Superman is
all
DC.
the mans, for me.
Molecule Man, Negative Man,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Mole
like he's
The
Man.
yeah. So I there's no man in the Guardian Galaxy, so maybe that's why I like it.
Ah, got you.
But definitely that is the brief synopsis of what was being talked about
And
with
Arrow has tragedy too. Arrow is dark more than
mm,
it should be, but it's dark. There you go.
What?
But stay away from Titans. Do not watch that at all.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
That
don't do
shit's
that,
alright.
people.
Don't do that.
Stay away from that.
I didn't have a problem with Titans.
Okay,
Mm.
that's you. That's you.
It's
But
not that
stay
bad.
away
It's
from
not that
it.
bad.
But for
It wasn't
him,
that
yeah.
bad, right? It was
But for him,
okay.
he likes that.
Give it
For
an
him,
8.
he likes that puzzle s dynamic.
Mhm.
So he for me, I honestly didn't watch Doom Patrol. So Doom
Mm.
Patrol, I do know that
Doom Patrol is
it's
dope,
it's dope.
and it's full of dark comedy.
Yes, so this is the open mic night that we here
Mm.
to share ideas and share shows that we didn't even watch yet and see that if we're gonna even have understanding of the complexity of that show as well. With Doom Patrol, it was very. I seen it a little bit, but it was very funny. The first time I watched the first season I watched Doom Patrol was very funny. I wasn't gonna, I even watched the first time I even watched Watchmen. That was fun. That's part of DC as well with Watchmen. You know, um, just be mindful. Of because with you, Ibrahim, if you come to the next podcast, you give us that complexity of dynamic. Um, that the dynamic that I never, even thought of Marvel and DC that's missing from us as a fan and us um looking at it from me personally looking at it from a writer's perspective or a videography perspective because when I view these shows, I'm not only looking at it from a fan perspective. I look at it from what I just said, from a writing standpoint, from a videography standpoint, and I'm gonna give you feedback for all three. I'm gonna give you feedback, like for example, we talk about this crucially, Ibra. We Madam Web, we didn't like it for the simple fact that it was uh it was a long-winded story um, that shouldn't be told in the way that it was told. It wasn't like we didn't understand the assignment. It was more so that they should have picked up the speed. Where again, where we had where we had Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel had three different powers, walk of life. Like you have Miss Marvel that um, come from Jersey City, and she's, I believe, Indian, and she's getting the understanding of as well where you got the British coming in and trying to take over Palestine and trying to get their people, and their people is trying to Indian or Palestine, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ibra, because that's not my history. I don't know the much history of it, but looking at it from Miss Marvel perspective, it was more so of the British trying to take over, and they was trying to leave, and that was the understanding that I got from Miss Marvel, from that dynamic. And then you got Monica Rambeau, was where she was a motherless child who was trying to figure out her way of trying to not only follow in her mom's footsteps, not only follow her mom's footsteps, but be a good soldier at the same token. And these shows again shows that and portrays that from the real world from writing. I'm sure you can give us some brief synopsis of certain shows that gives us that in South Park as well, in other shows as well. That, for example, I can go with Power. Power shows me 48 Laws of Power. 48 Laws of Power that teaches us a lot about success and a lot about how to maneuver and how to understand understand it from a chess player's perspective. That's what is being shown from different dynamics of different shows that's coming abroad that us fans that likes. And again, that shows me that that's what's missing at the same token, where I see power shows a dynamic of action, shows us how they connected of somebody got die tonight, where sometimes with characters, comic characters, sometimes they put too much emphasis of not realism or trying to bring unity or trying to bring diversity in these sets of shows. Sometimes there's a hit or miss with these shows, even with South Park, uh, trying to bring in that comedy within that show and within comic books. They're trying to bring in that comedianism into that, where sometimes it's a hit and miss. Sometimes it doesn't work out well at the same token. And I also thank you for coming in and trying to understand from our perspective of comic book versus your South Park, versus your South Park, that can give us an understanding of what's kind of missing in us as a fan from DC and Marvel. You
Not
have
even just
any
that.
last words, Sky?
Yeah, not even just that. He actually came into play of the topic that we was talking about today, how um superheroes come into how does it relate to real life, in
Mm-hmm.
your real life or whatever. And he doesn't really know about comic books or into superheroes, and that shows that, not everybody has that type of is in that type of atmosphere where they can see like superheroes and shit like that. Like he said he didn't really have that much in his childhood as far as superheroes. So that's like more of a us thing. You feel me? That's more like
Mm-hmm.
a Western culture thing. So it's like an American dream. You feel me? It just gives you, like I said, superheroes give you motivation to want to be greater than what is expected. So
Mm-hmm.
it was good that he just came out of nowhere into that play of topic. So it was dope.
Word.
Can I add something? I I mean, first I really appreciate, like, how you managed to get, even though I show no interest, but you managed to you know have me integrated with this, from my perspective. But I'm just thinking about it right now. I mean, first of all, I think those those iconic superheroes characters are, they're pretty cool. I don't, even though I don't watch them, but like, I respect those, like, characters, like the way I respect, like, Elvis, right? I don't listen to
Mm-hmm.
Elvis. I don't necessarily I respect Elvis, honestly, you know, because I think he's a thief. Um, but yeah, I mean, he stole music from black people, just to
Preach,
yeah.
preach, preach.
But somehow, like, I still respect him. Like, like when you go to Vegas. and you imagine Elvis wearing those like kind of shiny suits and go like blah, 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 and, and
Mhm.
it's like it kind of have like a kind of America picture, the nice America picture, right? But if you think about Elvis got used, he got used by a greedy, powerful person, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I think those Marvel characters, most of them, like they were created by passionate, creative individuals, and they were so explosive and so it got attention of like the many people, like all the kids in the whole nation. And again, there's like some greedy people at the top. It's like I gotta get me some damn money. I gotta take this. This is mine. And again, is this like Batman, Spider-Man? I want this. I'm gonna own this right now. So
Yeah.
it's you lose down tested and authentic part of it, or like the creativity, and it becomes like it's all about like making money, making like it's the I guess the failure of have of these Marvel's movies. It's because it's owned by establishments
Mhm.
and very powerful people, and it's all they care about is just making money, and it generates tons of money. And
I'm
same, yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. Another example, like I'm really sorry. I don't know if it's. I don't. I don't hope, but like I don't be disrespectful or like kind of stepping out of my area. But like hip hop, for example.
Do that's what
Yeah,
you're here for.
yeah. I
Th-
mean, because I'm not African American, but I'm not white. Okay, so
mhm.
but I like hip hop. I grew up with hip hop, but I think we all know that hip hop, like at some certain point of time, it was going in a different direction that the hip hop right now that we're
Mm-hmm.
listening to, right? It
Yes.
was like more about like resistance, and it's
Mm-hmm.
about like
They call it backpack or conscious rap.
yeah. And can you like align and relate the early hip hop with the superhero movies? It's like it kind of have like a kind of like a someone fighting evil, someone's
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
fighting
Correct.
powerful.
Run DMC.
Yeah.
Facts.
and
And
then and then like there's some elite that they see like these kind of cool, out of this place fucking music, explosive, where someone fucking just it's not music, it's fucking poetry on fucking beat.
mm-hmm.
Correct.
And they can see the threat on this, they can see like it's how powerful it is. And then
Fuck the police.
and yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
Even
feel
like
you.
it goes, I mean, you can see how the direction it was going. And but then the same thing they did to those like iconic characters like a Spider-Man, or they did to hip hop. And it's like, hey, now it's let's not sing about like important things, or like let's not you know be a superhero. Sing about your socks or your shoes, or you know or like what kind of jacket you're wearing, and like like who you're banging, how much money you have. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like it's manipulated and it's directed. Yeah. And it's the same goes for Marvels, maybe. I guess
With
I'm pretty sure.
with
I
Marvel,
love that
uh,
take.
correct me if I'm wrong, Nas and Scott. With Marvel and DC, they're more, yes, you're right with that, where it's all about money for them. But at the same token, um, they they don't try their best to stick with the comics. They they tell a story where it's part of the comic book, but it's not, because they have to figure out a way to to create diversity for nobody to get upset where the majority, just like I've said before in the last podcast, I said a quote like this: "Majority matters more than minority." The reason why I say it like that is because if majority if majority votes on one thing, fuck everybody else. Fuck the 1%. Fuck the 1% that says, well, well,
Facts.
well. I like Pepsi more than Coca Cola, but majority likes Coca Cola. Okay, but I like Pepsi because Pepsi tastes better. Uh, you're a minority. What does that matter? But at the same token, I do matter in some sense. But minority doesn't because majority holds more than the votes. So minority doesn't really matter. So I hold that quote to a factor of like that because that's how these big people are thinking when they're looking at the feedback, they're looking at the numbers because we all are numbers to the beholding of what we watch, of what we consume. If we don't watch news, there's no viewership. If a lot of minority if a lot of majority of people don't watch Fox, don't watch CNN, don't watch CBS, don't watch uh, EWTN or whatever news outlet that's out there, and transfer over to YouTube and watch news outlets. That's the viewership that's gonna be. You're gonna get more viewerships on YouTube than huge than viewership on ABC or CNN or CBS or whatever news outlet you watch. You know, there and then on top of that, there are all of them are not the same. One is far left, one is in the middle, one is far right, more is less in the middle. One is liberal, another one is libertarian or Tea Party or however you want to call it. There there's certain people that just like, well, if I'm minority and this doesn't follow my view, I'm not gonna watch you, or uh, I'm not gonna be beholden to you. You're not gonna be I'm not gonna be subservient to you or however case may be. And I do understand where you're what you're conveying, Ibra. Like it does happen, and that's the fact of the matter is is like we're just a minority that loves and like comic books, and we just talk about it in a way that no one else does, no one ever has done in YouTube. Where for me as a content creator, that brings people together and talk about the feedback and talk about what's missing and talk about uh, in the real world versus in the comic books, versus uh, the writing versus the videography and um,
Animation.
animation as well, and understanding the symbolism that's going on in the comic books, and also in South Park or Power or any other animated show that comes. Just like also Invincible. Invincible is very gory and very abstract as well. It's not part of Marvel and DC, but it's a different animated show, and that animated show portrays a lot of understanding of just trying to be human at the same token, with Invincible, and I do understand the conveyance of what you're portraying, Ibra. And it's very awesome to understand from that perspective. If you wasn't here, I wouldn't even adapt it to that understanding of understanding that us as a comic book fan, that we need to understand that um, we're just the minority, not the majority, that looks at things as the majority looks at it. Yes, yes. correction. Yes, we do have an agreement that certain shows suck. We do as a comic book fan would say that this show wasn't up to par as an agreement. Some people may say that they liked it, but some people may say like no, that shit wasn't right. That shit wasn't up to par. But majority would say that it was right. 98% was right. And then when you get feedback from different people and then be like, yo, this shit was awesome. This shit was awesome. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. You need to watch it before you give me a feedback of, oh, I hate it. Then when you do look at it, you be like, oh, okay, I understand what my friend was saying or what my teacher was saying, from looking at History Channel or whatever history was being portrayed in school. You know what I'm saying? So that's what um, is being portrayed. At the same token, at the same time. Uh, I hope that Ibra, I can be able to convey that message to you in a way of understanding of you know of writing perspective, since you're coming from that perspective of South Park of you want that puzzleness, you want that gory, that funny, that comedian side. I'm coming from the understanding of the writing side of what needs to be done moving forward, and hopefully that would happen for Marvel and DC. Right now, it's doing that. If you watch the Penguin, you're gonna see what you want in a DC or a Marvel. You're gonna be like, this is what I want as a fan for Marvel. That's why for me, I may be a Marvel fan at heart, but for me I'm a DC fan at heart too because I grew up with DC more than Marvel. I grew up with Batman more. I grew up with Spider-Man more. I I mean not Superman more. I grew up with uh, uh, Black Lightning. I grew up with Arrow. I grew up with Smallville. I didn't grow up with Marvel like that until I saw the first Iron Man, until I saw the first Thor, until I saw the first Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, until I saw Doctor Strange. Yeah, I seen all iterations of Spider-Man, granted, but I was more of a DC fan at the same token when I was just sitting around watching Gotham, sitting around watching Agents of Shield. These shows was portrayed to me when I was in my 20s. So I didn't really gravitate to Marvel as of now as I am gravitating to Marvel or DC. I still have love for DC because I grew up with DC. You know, so I hope that that you can understand what I'm trying to convey to you, Ibra.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And just to sum it up, it's just like you need that passion of writing. So
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just when the priorities like get shoveled up, uh, this is where you kind of
Yeah.
you get kind of material. But I absolutely this is what I see. It's just like something because you know what I can relate if South Park right now releasing like you know uh, something that is not good, I gotta go watch it because I'm a
Yeah.
diehard so I see I can relate in this part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is awesome because it gives us an understanding of because I watched South Park before and Sky watched South Park before and he could relate to the dynamics and the complexity of DC and Marvel, of what needs to be done for DC and Marvel, that Kevin Feige or James Gunn needs to needs to have that dynamic in their writing, not
yeah,
not not in videography. Writing, writing matters more than videography. You can have a film producer read the script and then have an understanding of how to project what needs to be conveyed in the writing.
Yeah, like
And
priority.
yes, correct.
Priority.
Writing is all symbolism and understanding from different perspectives. Like I could like one set of show, and you could like one set of show, and it comes to feedback of what is and what's not, because it's facts and logic and what makes sense to the audience, and we're the audience as well. Um, Nas, you have any final thoughts before we leave in a few minutes? You have any final thoughts?
No, that was uh very nice conversation that we had. It was nice that I wasn't interested, but somehow like we had like a really good conversation. So that's on you. That's pretty nice of you. So uh, hats off of running a nice conversation.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's why I'm here. I'm here. Usually I'll be here twice a month trying to, give set shows that I've watched and try to understand from a writing perspective, from a videography perspective of these set shows that came 2024 and before. That's what definitely came and understand what needed to be done. And you gave me that eye opening, like, this is what needs to be done, and so to speak, to get new audiences, not just me. I'm already sold. You need new audience. You need new audiences to look at your comic book. If you don't get new audience, it's the same people that's just looking at it and just like, okay,
Yeah, give me
what's
something
missing?
new now.
Yeah, like, what I'm
Yeah,
saying, like, that's why I was glad that Ibra gave that nuance. It was like,
for
yo,
real,
like
for real.
this is what's could be missing, you know, in versus South Park. And then Nas was like, yo, I see what you're talking about. These are shows that I suggest that you should watch, like Doom Patrol, like
Swamp
Swamp
Thing.
Thing, you know.
And he wrote them down. Jesse wrote them down in the chat, so you can also go back to them if you forget.
Yes,
And Ibra, yo, thank you very much for for your perspective tonight. I personally appreciate that. Well, especially when you try to strike this make the comparison between rap and comics.
hmm
I love that so much because you have rappers like MF Doom who literally wears a Doctor Doom helmet, and that's his rap persona. Anywhere you see him, anywhere you see that mask, you're like, yo, Doom. You feel me? I love that. Run DMC, love comics. The main person out of it, I believe his name is Matt Daniels. He loves comics. He even had his own comic book series going, and there's this person that I like to check out his stuff from time to time. Nando V Movies. He some years back he did a Defenders rewrite, and in it, every single title of an episode that he rewrote, he had a rap title of a song from Run DMC and made it surround that. Matter of fact, from the rap community, you have what's his name? You have sometimes rappers make crossovers with comic book characters like Eminem and the Punisher. You had
hmm
Charlemagne the God, um, squaring off against what's his name again? Green Goblin,
Eminem and Spider
because
Man.
Green Goblin was
yeah,
called Donkey of the Day on the
Eminem
Breakfast
rap
Club,
battled Spider Man.
which was
hmm
funny.
uh,
Eminem rap battled Spider Man.
that was funny.
Yeah, man.
Fire.
So I definitely really appreciate the dynamic that you have brought to us tonight. You being with us is a blessing. to
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Thank you, man.
Okay, I'm
Appreciate it.
blessed.
Thanks a lot.
Mm. Check out more like there's this character in the comics called in DC Comics called Queen Bee. She is ruler of Bialia. It's supposed to be like it's Libya scrambled. It's a stand-in for Libya and
Did you say
her
Libya?
yes,
Like
Bialia is supposed to be Libya.
Libya, the country?
Yes, Libya the country.
Okay, what's the name of the? I'm from Libya, dude.
Yo, you are. That's what's up. See? So right there.
That's
Right
funny,
there.
dude.
Right there. So
Put
check
it
out Queen
put
Bee
it
in
in
the
the
comics.
comment. Put it in the
Can
comments
you put it? Yeah, put it in a
for
comment. Yeah, yeah.
any
I don't know if
final.
she has
It's like, did
any
I hear
comic
that
books
right?
run by herself, but she's a very prominent figure in DC Comics. She's a dictator for Bialia.
Hmm.
Write it down, please. Queen Bee. Okay, so
Yes.
that's a
Yes.
cartoon,
So
right?
you might find that interesting. I hope that you do.
I will look it up. 100%. Yeah.
Hmm.
Let me write down the cartoon that that I watched when I was a child. I was
Okay.
fascinated, and then I watch it later. So if anybody wanna,
Yes, please do that.
Yes, please. Uh, any final thoughts, Nas, before we close out?
Um. Yes. So the last podcast you're talking about Spider Noir
Yes.
and how the live action suit is going to look.
Yes.
Honestly, before I even knew that they had any thought of making Spider Noir a reality, like giving him his own show, I saw, was it Far From Home? I thought, okay, this is the closest that we're ever gonna get to Spider Noir because Peter Parker's Spider Monkey costume. Remember that?
Hmm. Okay.
I was looking at like, yo, this is. I guess they're giving us this because they're not going to give us an actual Venom Spider-Man or a Spider Noir Spider-Man at all. So we just have to just settle for this. But then they're giving us Spider Noir. I'm like, you know what? Good on them.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That
Mm,
totally makes sense. That totally makes sense.
good on them. Thank you.
Any final thoughts from you, Sky, before we close out?
Nope.
There you have it. This is Collide, where we collide our thoughts, our passions into understanding of what needs to be done in Marvel. This is the open mic night for Marvel and DC, where we come collectively and try to figure things out from what's going on thus far in DC and Marvel. Trying to understand, um, should they are they even in competition? Is Marvel in competition or is DC in competition? Before we had a person before, his name is OG. He probably went to sleep because like we've been here for like 3 hours long, which it was a great ass show. I'm not gonna lie, this was a great podcast to be in tonight because we get to express different ideas and express different thoughts of what needed to be done in DC and Marvel, like because um, as of right now, um, the way DC and Marvel combine their together and collectively, this is the way of the messaging that needed to come because the way that they're doing it, far as with subscription wise, that Marvel and DC was like, well, the fans love both of us, so this they just put our subscription together and now they have HBO. Now they have HBO Max and Disney Plus together for $16.99 with ads. With no ads, you get about $30, so you can be able to watch DC and Marvel to put together. You can watch all Batman, all Superman, all Justice League, all you even got Batman Ninja. You even got different iterations of Batman that you can be able to watch on HBO. Like you can even watch South Park on HBO. So there's the dynamics of that. Like there's different shows for different folks. They're for different strokes, and you get to understand the.
Ooh, bars.
TXT.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to come in there, like what I mean. I had to make it make sense to collide, where I collide different walks of life and you connect to different stories that's being foretold, and have it to where what is being told, right? With these different shows, right? How is it being told in the forefront from from politics, or how is it being told from different walks of life or different countries, like like Palestine, like Israel, or Haiti, or Jamaica, or Mexico. How these comic books is being portrayed in the real world, and how it's showing us how to be uh humilitant instead of militant, because you have Arrow being militant, you have Captain America being militant, you have um Hulk being militant, but at the same token holding holding himself back from not being too angry, but at the same time allowing us to be angry. At the same token, it's like when Hulk came across to me, it was like I can be angry, but I can't show my anger, because if I show my anger, I become dangerous to people, and it sucks that I can't, be passionate and be. It sucks where I can't be passionate and be without being shown as misogynist, or why you guys show um angry, but I'm not trying to show angry. It's just the fact that, yeah, I'm a man. We have testosterone. We just convey our message with strong and passionate ideas, and sometimes it comes out like that. Sometimes it comes out where, yo, this shit sucks, bro. Yo, this shit is not ideal to the way of life. Why you're telling me this is right, but logically speaking, it's not right. So minority people is like, yo, logically speaking, this ain't right, or majority is like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna go with the crowd instead of being a leader, and just portray whatever needs to be portrayed so it can be done, you know. But that's how it is. And the only way to convey that is convey that through comic books, or convey that to South Park, or different animations that's being foretold. You know, that's how it be. Sometimes it was like that back then. You didn't have TV. You had to watch these things or read these things from a newspaper. Now there's no newspaper now. You can just go on news. You can just go on newspaper by just googling it now. So that's how it be like. That's my final thoughts and my final arguments for for DC and Marvel, and how I can't wait to see what's next. There is Craven the Hunter next, and there is What If season 3 next. Hopefully, and there's Creature Commanders
I
next.
have no hope for what if at all.
You have no hope for Craven the Hunter.
Not one. I have a little bit, but I'm not being very. I'm not being overly optimistic.
Well,
What's wrong with the what
Cautionably
ifs? What's
optimistic is
wrong
what
with
I'm
what
doing.
ifs?
Being cautionably optimistic
What's wrong
because
with that what
they
ifs?
it's the same people who did Madam Web, for crying out loud.
You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that.
So I'm being cautionably optimistic.
You cannot do that. No, we're not accept. I can't accept that, man. I can't. You cannot put that in the same category as that. Like the what ifs is fire because they come from the comic books of what if.
Yeah, but the thing is, the main ingredient is missing, and the main ingredient is Spider-Man.
We know. We
yeah,
know.
These characters work, and we love them because of their relationship to Spider-Man. And if there's no Spider-Man, it falls
Yeah, but they
apart.
don't fuck. But come on, bro. They done fucked it up already. We already know. We already know they're
Exactly.
gonna
So
fuck
I'm
it
being
up.
cautionably optimistic.
But it was like, I
Uh,
enjoy it. Like I
good night,
enjoy it.
guys.
It's different.
I'm start.
Good
Good night,
night.
Ida.
Yeah. Bye
Take
bye.
care, man. We love you. Take
Love you
care.
too, bro. Appreciate it.
No
Mhm.
problem. But that's how I be like sometimes. You, but at the same token, Nas, you can't critique until you watch.
Fair. But of what I saw so far, and that is why I said I'm being cautionably optimistic.
That makes
Did you
so
not hear
that
what I said?
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. I'm just saying
Mhm.
you can't critique all the way until you watch. Because for me, for me, it gives you that 100% of feedback instead of 50%.
I mean, some of the stories was retarded, but it was like it was a couple that was good though. It was a couple that was good.
Definitely,
Oh,
yeah, it
speaking of
was.
which, the Spider-Man college picture that I made that I sent y'all the last podcast. Did y'all check it out?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, well, with one part Daredevil was in it, and then Scorpion became Venom, and then the
Yes,
last movie had Craven. How Troy Your Boy 17 did that. Y'all saw the whole
That's the
thing.
actual comic book. That's the
yeah,
actual comic book, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know about that.
Yeah,
I know
man.
about
Yeah,
Scorpion when he gets the venom suit.
that's why I put them. I know, but that's why I put them in the chat. Some so that we
Word.
have
No, that'd have been
variety of
fire as a good
ideas
like as a
and know
storyline. That'd
what
have been
else is out
fire
there and
for
how
the new
things can be
Spider-Man.
done.
That'd have been dope. Like the new Spider-Man, that'd have been dope. I would have liked that concept. That'd have been cool. Scorpion gets the venom suit instead of Spider-Man. That'd have been dope.
Hmm. If if y'all
That
didn't
would have
watch
definitely been
Venom,
dope.
if y'all didn't watch Venom yet, Venom was
Um,
very good.
Oh man.
So if you didn't
I
watch,
haven't seen it yet. My girl saw
if
it.
you if you didn't watch Venom yet, that's cool. We're gonna be able to talk about it at the uh at the end
Mhm.
at the end of this month. Uh, the next podcast will be next Sunday. The next podcast will be next Sunday. I want to be able to talk more about DC that's coming because I want to definitely talk about more theory about Spider Man, more theory
Mm.
about Green Lanterns because Green Lanterns in production. They have their uh their lanterns already. They have their characters already and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I want to definitely talk about that more in deeply. Now we'll probably have one more topic of DC because it's gonna be just DC for the next podcast. I want to be able to have that dynamic um, conversation of DC for sure because we haven't talked about that much because it's coming. 2025 is coming, and Superman is coming. So I want to be able to theorize with you guys with that, um, with DC and what's coming. At the same token,
Oh,
and
yeah, it's our come up, man. It's our come
yeah,
up. It's our time.
yeah,
They done used all they good shows and good movies. It's our time now.
yeah, for real, for real. But then again, you know, Collide is here. Collide is here to talk about these set shows and to give you an understanding, to give you a understanding of what's to come and how to be able to understand the writing, the production, and also to give you straight feedback, straight criticism at the same token, because we don't hold back. We tell you what time it is. We tell you, bro. No, no. Like we tell you what time it is. We don't hold back and color the show. We're not here to do that. We're here to tell you our criticism. Set DC or set Marvel. We're not gonna be here and tell you, oh, this was because of this, that, and the other. Nah, that shit should have been there. Period. I'll give you one example before I leave. Miss Marvel.
Mm.
the Marvels, that freaking dancing shit shouldn't have been there. What was the whole point? It just fucked up the whole show, the whole movie. Like it shouldn't have been there. Like, come on,
They tried to recreate Guardians of the Galaxy, but again,
should
you have to
should
earn that.
shouldn't been there. Period. Like I would have been fine where all three of them was doing jump rope. I would have been fine. I would have been because like it gave them more character development. Like trying to give more character development. Kamala were trying to understand who Captain Marvel is and shit like that. Like that dancing whole shit should just be like, "Hi, husband. Bye, husband. I gotta go save this that and third because this lady's trying to kill me." That's it. Yeah, I need no more. I need all that dancing shit. What the fuck? If I wanted to go dance, I would have been in the club. Like, like for real. And then on top of that, the music that they chose was just stupid. I'm yo, if I continue on ranting about Captain Marvel, we'll be here another hour. But
Oh,
uh,
you're about to turn into me.
we'll we'll be here another hour. But that's the whole part of a fan. Would tell you what it is. Would tell you what time it is. At the same token, thank you, guys, for coming, especially Nas and Sky that comes to get my feedback and understand my mindset and trying to get me to understand from a different perspective, um, from from the individual from the individual perspective. At the same token, thank you as well, YouTube and Facebook fans that is still here and still getting feedback from Nas and Sky and other people that came in this podcast that gives you feedback from understanding from me and their perspective at the same token. You know, also like and subscribe for the next podcast that's gonna be next Sunday. We're definitely gonna be able to talk about DC. That's the main focus of the next podcast. It's gonna be DC verse. That's what James Gunn is trying to portray. Again, thank you. Um, like and subscribe. Uh, Thank you for coming. Uh, for everyone, Nas, Sky, again, thank you for coming. Collide out.